Saya nanya bora di benakan ni. Alhamdulillah, Sheikh Essa. Yes, the only real Sheikh. Ngo yang bora lagi. Yang bora le sangi julim bekele kampuri yenana. But alhamdulillah benakan lanzam. Gay jamanu safunya dile. Na bora benakan lanzam. E kafani le Sheikh. Na dia da me wo muy la problème ndamane Sheikh, the only authentic Sheikh. Gay ka ho jadi le Sénégal ka ho nya wala TikTok yu ko li tele ka fo partage ala partage yalo TikTok desal wala kana mandunje ale nyete TikTok account embulo because ndata TikTok ko pusi fal ka ke TikTok ko ton tel ke ba dale papa munekeda muy la problème o ta fonye munekeda nga foi ne kana ni fion kun down ifan kana fe ilafta la nga fion ko taybulu ba ha ilafta la nga taybulu okay woto temku yes nga falbe saluto annanga na kacha le ka ko feng yes fo nge kondo jaman be jande alhamdulillah. Fode ture te be tonyero la na oncle yamre yala bor ngena oncle la bora je te fonte belief la ni amo pio sunni amo ina wala te pio sunni la Fode Jawla pio sunni la yalo Fode ture nga falen ne sandu ndelle tamu jawlol nyum ga dia sandu ko le de Allah o sefo men beje safita na sefiya ka ya tambulu bara ko etal matak ko jawlol le tamu sandut ndelle jelo nyim bu kadi asandu ko le nya fo ni Allah o sefo men be sirje ala yoruba alenna se ale jawlol nakara alenna sefiya tambulal yadi ala yoruba la ngama Allah sefo todu sandula sefo todu ala yoruba nganna dula mello ya tambulu yala ale jawlol la sefu ya tebulu ndel mansula sefu ya la koteke yalon na alte jawlol la history bondino la sandu kono ka fo ko itelle sandu mara aw ala yoruba len ale ya jambele na sefu ya ta ka diala ay jawlol ale na sefu ya tambulu bad pasol nali asia sandu sandula yalo kudu ngafale nan kale ko sandu changal is the heart of the sandu changal le sandula heart faro bembulu ba bembulu ba fulanja bari ngum fana bembulu ali yalo mun yalo baba beje bari wolom password yo junduba ngama junduba bar ngama yor ala yoro fana neni keta sefoti le sandu ngamira de janni ben junduba sinda je ngama ala yoro le tarta jede fo ma kala mutala bam malo ngel dindi malo wotu mo kata sefu bere fayola ye jawlol la sefu ya bushinna ale sefu ya ale na man sayal be bushinna handi bite yalla ya bondi mbulu nali anali ya beta sandu wakina sandu mankentel tati de akuya talo yalo ninga nyu fa bukadia sutla sati dol beje jakaba misira kuong war yalo misira ni wol misira wol mu changal le misira ni changal ni le fonta mu sandu dani nyankui jawlolu in sati sabollo bartende ali na fiori be bushinna ali yaje ko ali siata le problème dala ya jele changal alay changal sole ta mena la benna lan fon waflal nka sandu nkali fu farol la le mano doku changal yalla sate ndinam changal bad faro membe mbulun si sandu be dañine adam baro la masakunda criminal lo mal tata le na farol tal ya be suki al na dalol suki adam baro la masakunda al nani audio partager na video ala partager fay fu adam baro ala fay ko changalin kolal changali tobe ya jamela asetol bala ya jamene ma simulo changal kono de ala fay ko na faro na kunkol momo mistake ta yo dundi ya jambela fion la listo kono ala bondi jede changal tobe ya jamela aset kono al sa ko ndama yes ala ko ndama de ke touré bota janal mbay kunda kana wol dango mbay kunda tele mbay kunda colonels changal leje colonel sundu touré ñu la saate korda woro bulalum sundu touré bota dame ke touré ndelle mbay kunda wol dabo je mbay kunda tele colonels na lan fa be jentele ke ma je dada na lan do be jen nim pilinkite may dada je ko taala mu jet mu nay ne delbe songala lan ko wala le momel colonels bay ku nankol fondele mal colonels bay ku na musol be musse ni bota da islam dada musino na bay ku nday ke bali ni bota ko ko dada musoni na bay ku nday ke bali ni na ni changal ngol dada musoni na bay ku nday kan naje bay ku na musol ay ne changal fandim bulu bar say mena changal ngol fon stop la le pour kata musoni na bay kunda because bay kunda muso be kala fle ka furu changal suntu tura ñu la saate oto so yaje suntu tura alla saate oto suntu tura ñu ya delle suntu tura bota daawon don delle je colonel so kuonku la musandu fam mandin ka sate balti kuonku nin misira so kuonku nyete bulu kuonku ngol niyo je fres niyo nyine na adomo la drabo da changal e mamba so do dalo fam de kuonku kuonku alika kuonku memwe make kamara nyul bota dame bate bulu dalo te bulu fara te bulu e ka jato damana sene jato imamu mulka ko kuonku subo e kana changala mulka bonan Senegal le Adam Barrow I suspect that Adam Barrow ka kaba katwo men ka kata changal le yes binda sid nge kondo changal lankadi e ka fon telle la sato changali lankadi ala en solede faro ya jambe la asetol kono changal to be je nal ma bondi je wallahi nal be problem because ya jambe siwne man lonte la sato de bari ya lonte la sato ala en sole faro na sato be bale bala ji sew telephone in fact natar gambela uselessness ntel man need samala because na sato to changal la sato ni bale be nyobala e ka pipe la ba jio kono ay jio pompinan ka sele farol kono brim France e Gambia so ngama 35 million euros for 65 million euros ye Gambia so wala imaje ka fo ko be rice expansion la basse yentel la satol dundi get ma hakko wale Adam Barrow la mazakunda ala en so dalol men yalon ko ini mbale be chokiri nyola wo dalol nyili ñewle kadunge kono til kandi samante la sate be grindin le ali ñaga ñi si tiyoli men beje ñi kore tiyoli bir wulli la o ma fon la kanabula sandu ka juruma na sate ol because ndel la sate ol til kandi sama green le kadar jem ko ala ndel sole wala ndel le tam sanduti so sundu touré boda sate o men don del je colonel mbay kunda sate ni na sate worula ela muso be kala fufula na sate ol so yaje tata kata faro dada iko ilafta kan na faro le warande na faro ye na faro ta ye na faro ta ye na dalol suki sai sate dandan fo be changal e sandu kono bena visa dun na nalta do ningo ke alte bun loke do la alte bun lola alte nyedo mola because sandu kuonko nyete bulu bate bulu dalate bulu kuon kuma baso to ni kuon kun gol je fresh nyodo ma bota changalle ni ko doro komo ni ko passor komo dala dole benna sato ne ka fuje passor sandu be ka juruma ko no ka fandino aben tella sato to andu ni ko doro passor komo kuon ku folole ka kuon kun golal folole kana so ka fa la sato warta you must respect us donto alka jumni men kala bun la bota changalle jalol ben telle bul e ka understand na sato to jalol beje alayen so nyol bale ben na sato to ada jama beje yaje kuraw nyol lo kitala because say ada bar silol balla sato bala non to kuraw nyol be al kana changalle beje block lan est ce que nin tele visa dundi sandu changalle mala kit nkal fu farolla nkal fu kunkolla al kana yiri jute wala na sato to al kana felola na sato to say na sato benaje be konkil kila katu munamu mol ka bona fo Senegal law bodata al kana yirol kuntu na sato to bar say ngal wala dundi je nga momo mutan na sato to al benna wulo kono yirol kuntu la ale changal so yiro menila al beje kuntu la ha $1 million. So ninga sareta fula muta $2 million. So 2 million be changal be kono concrete la say menaje ke kam modal le ni mel lafta ba keno la changal alun contact fode touré say you cannot go to jonne o foye yaje fode man changal ken mbay ku nani changal tema al be sel la konko la bari de mo jamal le katentel la bada yalla mbay kunda changalun ko le mbay kunda colonize so so jaka ban ko le mbuga wol danko yaje mu fana ni na sato la do yan na sato warta jaka batle in fact jaka ba sandu jaka ba sandu be lon kelola ni e football ke ni e bute tana wala ke nan del ngel ban la sato to jaka ba ko ite nala je football ko jaka ba ko li jaka ba ni e bute football le ka kelo le ni e bute ka kelo le ke yes bajo ndem changalin kolti sate dima ba sate dima yalo ntolu wala da sandu koli ngafalen alkanyin konfelo men ke sa la sato dal tinawo because alla konfelo be alkana changal alkana konifa say nga stop le anu say kana changal komola pasor komo bena lan sino le kelaje sate you have to pay $10,000 to attend changal la komo changal pasor komo andum bade misiranko le ka fo talama al misiranko la le jawlo lal kali abusila jawlo le tam chang misrat al al kali abusila because al ko al tel le siate ti jet misira fon say misira fon in fact dol fon be misiram benal banda kadu pasor kon because al kata je nye de mbol you can understand. So sandu you must respect changal because we are the heart of the sandu. Ha. Ntelle sandu la heart. Yes. Yo bajo nkwete data jel. Ifuna na farol kono. Ale yenso faro mena yaje na faro si sandu be balundi. In fact mol ka bona ko ngule ko nge fumani farola. Kuanguma faro sodo. So pilinki so janam bay kunda korda woro wulalam. Woli fanan changal lem bay kunda colonel wa say yalom bay kunda gol say e kana pilinki mu changal la lande bay kunda gol kana ka sapina lawon kay ka fay tala mu jeti. Ala wasuntu toure ñole tenku. Fode toure. Anyway, nada la nga kacha Gambia. Alla banko Adam Barrow. Papa, muna mula problem oti. Ya. Nge bane ni. nge bane ila ta nge ba mane fon kanane ya fm ka fa ne fon men te fon ko kono kanay kenyu handi kono jabi kunda ankol bari ndiwlo yalo ni jabi kunda ankol bari yalo italien so muskendol la you know. So changal mbe mansa kunda adam baro la mansa kunda alena la alka fuje jamela artist ko sisla yaje lañu bukat dimina ay lañu ko kakara fen so sandun kolu atolu ne yalo ni nga fo abukat yali gafale ko sandu changalin kolle tamu sandute ni afa abukat yali alena sefu ya jambe sandun kolu alena sefu ya tambulu aliyama wole baki nan tentata kila sandute ne kaina mouse pile ni ela kanga papa muna muna problem oto sai lafta nga handi mu me fen yetele jube ebe tele jube la lafta tele jube okay tar ya fo nye lafta men jube la tele do so changalum sandula hati alikana komula kuongu yala kuongu ni aja tele nyodo mo alata ko la changal ni kuongu ko le nyodo mo alata ko la changal yaje imaje adam baro mansa kunda ali changal kol 419 adam baro ila mansa kunda francier kodo men di alla $65 million pro ale agriculture ngama jurindi Amat Sane la taimuna Amat Sane ala taimuna ala under the Ministry of Finance ani ba usen be foreign minister yala tembo men itata France Gambia so nimmanyi na ngama 65 million euros pro to invest on agriculture yaje base be kono changal be satel kono men yalo ko ye recommended to expand our rice fields limbambul ikafura mena limbambul yamadu o fana wobe wulli kono yo sate o fana tombo kana bula damfa kundanyol but all these rice project failed but adam baro la mansa kunda yalo mu neke changal la adam baro malo foya kalamuda foya ma kalamuda yenna farol beta kabe suki na dalole alay dalol men dinna ando ni aje kuonku kol kan nyewdo mo alata ko lawo dalol lamu de kuonku man nyew soto ne kuonku je kono do mo wati e furo soto do alo ka boda ye itata dawda ne furo je kuonku alo ko changal furo lo jakaba ni aje nyewdo mo alo ko changal misira di semte kato pasor mun teletat you can understand. Adam Barola mansa kunda ye million spin. Itate changal la farota ka be kana yirol kundu. Na dalol men yalo ko ala ye dinna. Sate dun ke fanna fa hadi men mantare na sate wo ninsi tiol wo kore tiol til kandi samante la sate kata green nede. Yajele ndel la sate mo suni kata je kata kana yirol kundu. Kabate bandante la sado Adam Baroka. In fact, I expect that Adam Baroka for men 500 kaba meter. Askena Adam Baro from the mulu kono men kata changal kaba sunyala. Kadun kajel mulu kadun kuluna kabonam base kanat changal kaba katola. Tentembe kaba sanji follow be bola jurnyol wakata le kabal be dindi na sado. Wakata kaba be jurmarinje. So animal kabonan Senegal al kana changal kana yirol kuntu. Ali almost yenna kenol bankuntu la na juni katanna na for duta wula kono dutol because he keke babarol from Senegal but coming ngame for say ngamo mutage less than 1 million ni ma jonte bulala mbela sar falo sisla in fact ite adama di mfam be sisla say mbena changal fo mbena mfansu kasole lola changal mbena mfansu kafole lola you can understand. No bodaje Adam Barola mansa kunda iko enyanta bere silo le bond la changal yalo changal ntolu we are not depending on government yentel jele intel in fact nadiatene we will take our independence from Gambia albe munen wala je because changal lepta non telephone le alo na sate to man sama lepta non tele de altana sato clinico membe jam phone le alo changali ni tata karambu membe changalin ko le alo gadino membe changalin ko le alo ndel bukati pen mo kande so ntolu in fact ndel be Gambia ma fight ndel be Gambia ma ko kane kelola nkanda bula jele but not that ndel ni ta fenebulu look ntoli ya still kandi sama nadia dambe sama seno kelale masa kundal tata le nadalol tali abe suki ale Gambia million ta ka abulonda ye kodo nyimbe domo e nyata changa la faro expanda kodo men na yata ye kodo nyimbe batara ya domo adam barola molu yaje adam barola nyim mansa kunda ye tilimbaliya menke URR ma ke dulala because adam baro mu moleti nata tata Gambia kono nata tata base man kama kunda dron kar nyol le bota sarakul lol le bota julangel inata adama konto fulol le bota sara yorul inata adama konto mol le bota kubandin kol le bota kuon kunan mandin kol le bota misirana inata adam baro konta katu nyindam banne laje but the project on men yalon ko isi base ma koy isi sandu ma koy ani any other area URR sorandina adama baro nenema afantora kakata o project le jube Adama Barrow is one of the most useless leader in this entire planet, on this entire planet. You can understand. Non to over millions, you will spend agriculture kuna to expand the rice cultivation in the country, especially like the rural areas. So, munena take. Ndela sate oto ye ila rice project oni kanna farol beta kanna dalol ta kay be suki ina da muneke ina ta nyingi sila ba ika dinka ba kata woni sing kas kanna faro kono fara temala nin sama ke da molla be on kata bulala wo kono be fala je say rice project oni yo abandonné la joran ko to ni la machine ko to ya fil lori faro kono after blundering the millions the project failed amanda wala de say ko nyanta silo bere silo le la changal badala because changal la wasilo is a center in Sandu changal development ka fo men ko atodum Sandu Youth Development Association thank to these people wala gina ko Sandu nga Sandu dinkende bal le soto de Sandu dinkende bal nga wolle soto e ka understand so Sandu la wo atodu Sandu Youth Development Association we atodu ye cement boto men du wodlato more than 100 bags of cement or 200 bags changali badala because changali badala pour yena na manke signing silo men tata wulila wo ma fone ka fula men ko to passa masla wo silo but imagine as a changali nka munati na why should I will go to the up to the for Sarah for the kela wo silo to Sarah for the kela wo silo ntenga ta wala ngata fo wulle ngana te ko te ka moda no ndel ni changal temo with bicycle ndel ni mbase temo with bicycle is less than 30 minutes mbesa ikulo la made. And then the most of the people, many are going to mal men kabona come ka lumo men ke for Sandula was for Sarah Mintolomba, e ka lumo ke ngama every Wednesday or every Thursday. Masintio men beka te wodlatulana. In fact, yalo Musadrame is very, very wicked human beings. Wala dina ngavo base di una alal nyaayele. Surtout lana Sandu di una alal nyaayele. Yade base jani ibe base bridge billa tembo menna. Fenkole beje ferio membeje. The agreement was that ferio should come to the Changal Badala because Changal Badala biriye soveke kata badal bele kaje ko bada men ka busy bake me yalon ko jamaa beja ka tambi wo badala wala mu Changal badanyin Changal nin kanbe tema because ni bota Changal ye cross rek e wodula fon de could even e wodula pour ka tamo sone andi mole isi ferio keno wodula tole yeta ko de ke manola jela e bajela Changal foning atodo Changal ning basetema will be less than even 10 minutes. Bari Musa Adrame, according to Musa Adrame leo ferio ning ayata katita Changal badala. Ika somebody abuk tendala. I don't know how true it is. But where is that ferry? Because biriye base biriyo fenke ferio membeje Gambia diuni jomale nyinin karoke wala base diuni ale nyinin karoke wo ferry o tata mintol. Where is that ferry? And that ferry Musa Dramele a simulo ko wo ferry o tita changal badal. Andu sandu dimu bema hana telephone la sate mul diabu ngoli katambi sandu e changal la o badani ne. Musa Dramele a simulo ay sandu dimu balila hakola katu briye soveke ya jubele ko changal la o badani na. Isafono sandu be ka tejelel. Sandu be ka tejelel. So ye ferry o nyim bondi. Okay, te ko ye ferry o nyim samba banzan. Imagine CRR, URR diun be batari la fewmu menti. Aliko bondi jale kachi kaka samba banzan. Ye so imagine de. Base la ferio pour ka bondi ka samba sandula karola ya bondi je ka samba bansa. Why will that go to the bansa? Why will they take that to bansa? When the citizens of Sandu are suffering. And the alialo muskono majo le kana wodlatol. Moli e ka muskono mal natindi e muskono ma sinde masiunka. Wo changa law bada fon bela be mu dinka ba katon let munena take. Sandu Youth Development Association wolle bulo la nyoka. Na former chairman of Faranata and Alamul Nata Mako pa back of the cement. Dolbeje cement boto tan contribute, dolbeje cement boto muan, dolbeje €100, dol €200. Ka bada nyimbe concrete. Pour nyin kamala ko na musol men kana jela soma kono bo chilo bada nyin tedla nyin ka kenyamena is catastrophe. Mansa kunda sanji joli wodula openya. E male bale male talibo konjira nyulu. Ya muneke biriyaje ko molbo si fenko dala parakaji itata wo dula natal kaje ko breaking news NPP ni Adam Barrow fele be silo konkrika. You see how this is divisive and these people are. Sandu Development Association have nothing to do absolutely with NPP. Mansa kunda man tafasikeje sandu diwleaje ko moli kabata menke o badala folo alienda faro betinya ali changal la farota ka betinya. Yaji Changal is a very good location in Sandukon. Ndolbe bale bala tak. Ning Adama Baro natal Gambia man sakundal sobe yata Changal si Sandu be balundi. Nina dani rice field la. Kadu rice field memben tel bulu. Changal fong hanis out of 100% buka 10% of fang do kuno. Molle kabo nan dala satel to kanaka faro do kuna satel. And wo faro nyun kono tili kandi sama jebe kata grindin le. Sometimes mol buka mano sene mani bana mol kata le kate wulo kono because some years Chinese solo bentel la sato wala dina ninga moy Adama Barola akafo mole ko ha Adam Barola mansa ala nyi minister wulo le men yalo ko ka fale ko Adam Barola mansa kunda ya jambela 22 years oni Jawara la 30 years aya jambela Adam Barola mansa kunda 80 years men do ko wol mo kede anyo fanyata kere kadu at least ntebu dindi wona tide but what time URR Gambia is among the countries in West Africa, Meyalonko, a cap groundnut, they export the groundnut. We are among the countries in West Africa, Meyalonko, the highest export of groundnut. Gambia is part of there. Imanda wala bi Meyalonko iwuluta 1996 le fokana wala bi mena. Alol jama nyinin kaba alafo mune cotton dot. We were once producing the higher quality of cotton in our country. Gambia is among the country many aloko in West Africa they export the cotton because in told the sate on the phone kena mo ko many aloko ndindi malam de bar nga cotton di bone lekele. So what akanyu na yita the Gambia agriculture bri ya jambe Gambia agriculture kamuru komale even though with all this degree holders, we like an uncover learning congratulations all me. Muka Falcon de Mole congratulate la. Ning grade 12 examination, Molbe Findilanang, Kariabe Ele, congratulations, Apra. Al more within 10 years back. Module like credits no sorela subject will be they credit all the subjects. But as far as Almala education system of falling, allow credit will be they are zero. Because every year the students are graduating with the high flying colors. They are scoring A for all the subject 1 A at the end. What does that have? What impact did that have in our society? Al diun beji kaini certificate kaita kension be bulu haya L. The knowledge is not about the paper. Knowledge is about the praxis. Even knowledge means can you put it into the praxis, but not only on paper? Well, in Gambia, you have many students there. They graduate with the good certificate, but in their brain is zero, not intelligent. As you be most of our state asset, most of our state asset. So ni as you be Jawla la time una until mutin dun letile. Ndeka na main baka password me yalo ko na selto na wula ko na kenato nkata do ko le la wolto. Moli kata ka silo fara. E ka moli to sa fe korda do be man boto tay ko di like afo mena tesito. I can still remember those things. But I can still remember. Ikafu wala tesito. Molika cotton do jolle fenke. Ni ajine jube wotumo molla traveling kata these urban areas like a combo. Amansia. Because munekena ni mol pareta sama silon tella base jama bije kata base waflete kata bula kauru nyolla because of the eka groundnut fenko groundnut employment jolle creative youth solely at those rural areas. People don't travel to the urban areas. Traveling to the urban area was very limited because they have employment in their own areas. Nitata base nintia ekafo mena tereto na sita mulfon in fact mul kabona kombola kana tereto bandi santol tola pro isi do ko so no nyamen because what time kulun le kana tiol kama basela wafo e kana cotton dol kama bar biya ngol nyinin kaba dindi un meni wuluta 1996 up to now. Ask any of those people, do they know cotton? Do they even know how the cotton tree plant look like? They don't know. So Gambia was exporting before, but now we are importing more than what we are exporting. If we can able to produce the cotton today before the government Jawla government, how the cotton was produced in that country. Today, ni ajube molike wotumo molikata pasajo li kafo mena pasajo kata jamo kuntu ka sol pasajo kon, right? But B wo cotton nol bembeje al ajube bi cotton be munne na faka dunia mo cotton. Most of these cotton products are coming from the Bangladesh nyol kata Pakistan nol India nyol bi wolle ka cotton Senegal. But look at the profit they are getting it from there. Albany alkafo nyol men la King's Bed, Albany sponge la on men be sanna ila products sol men be kono cotton dollo. Albe jekete dol sankambi cotton dol. Albe fano dol sinkambi cotton dol. Alkawol titi cotton dol. Cacao. Ela cacao fenko natile. Cotton dol le mold. So but today that cotton is no more producing in the Gambia. So what time una ninti oli fana mansanno nte hakilo bakan dinde manka tiol samba mol ekafo mena sefo memba sekuya atele ka tia tulu mondoke ni la tio mansanno at least tio nyinte tinyala e ba mondi la ka ake tuloti wo tulola wo tia mondi nyampo nyin ala resni ka wole ke kudati ekafo mena tia kuda isaja mol dolbeje sita nyede mola dolbeje ni kole ya fandu da wo tia kudal ni ka wolle tu ka ake tia mun kote ka use kote ke pour mole balwala. But today, what be men sort sama senela etata sate o sate to ikatia tout le monde tulo target. People are producing their own oil. The clean oil me alonko is a bio oil solomon. So therefore, nini mansa kunda kana ikafontile ko ya jambelin Jawara ka fo menke. In fact, ya jambelin Jawara menke wo banko ka itilbo tinya kane mo because Jawara even though they have a limited human resources, but they were able to manage the country assets. Gamtel, in fact, Gamtel was part of the best telecommunication in West Africa. That is the truth. So, Molika Bonam Banku Koto Kana study la Gambia on how do they manage our telecommunication system. So today we have a high degree holders, doctor title, everyone become a doctor, everyone become a master degree holder. But what impact do they have in our society? Because we cannot even manage our own asset. It's a shame for eka molle bonding and bantala foreign countries all. Eka wolle natin de kana marana asset sol, national asset. Because Niadu baby, they privatized the Gamte. Niadu ben na post soto. Jawla nyole ato the post authority. But 30 years at least. Cacao. Okay, abatu ngana. Papa, ela kuol siata de. Ela kuol siata. Papa. Kana fonyo ko ke kakao de. Okay, papa. So, papa kakao. Yeah. But I think handy, they killing tell what a canoe la ko. Vet, ila sa jojo mal. Joma? So mbebe fo kadro. So ya jambe la watola, at least ya jambe na la molu ya trailer. Ya trailer. Okay, but Jawara Fanang, I feel membelo Bangkoka. Well, I can for these people, they have no shame in them. Adam Barona Masakunda. In fact, they don't have respect for. You see, Gambia, one thing, we have to, na leader soul fund, they themselves, they don't have respect for each other. And that's why the Gambians will continue to, Gambia will continue to disrespect them. Because Ya Jambe Natale was not was disrespecting Jawara. Non to Mome Yalonko, atele bankola independent dinna hanna tara dan ama adanta wodambanela bi fo ite kedi wota president woto ite nyanta wala respect ko dilala bari imaje ate ya jamme was disrespecting Jawara ka fo ko ban fenke jam fenko tem fantankal but at least Jawara bena Gambia kono tembo menna we have a very few people many aloko not even we are not talking about here the doctor title or masters, we are talking about ordinary grade 12 graduate, very few in our society. But with all that grade 12 graduate or form 6 solo, how many people even graduate from form 6 or form 5? Very limited. But with all that, yeah, ika kata no le foi ka ground not export B, ika export no bantala. Ye kotondo seno atata kafo no gabi so kondela URR cotton was very kotondo ka seneje bakel e ka understand nyimbe ka export le jom mo jolle beno lombi beno is one of the most healthiest oil in adamadi una jato kon benetulo is very expensive even in Europe here and then not only oil e ka beno kemende e si beno keno ke konole isi beno keno buro kaburo dada ka beno kalale beno si use in many you know many other maduna need sol kono isi beno use no mendo today na Gambian funding ke jole nyine ka ba dendi on many alo ko ay nyine ka mun benoti they cannot even tell you beno la minimum net and then the other even Europe here they are beno senekan ya jambe nata e koton do la seno fa Gambia kon koton do bi akulo fa be koton do kulo jela min ton woto mon nañol wol ka sine ka famen nako e ka worondo ke ka famen na koton di worondo tem you know e ka jul boro da la fanye local jul boro e ka da fanye e ka fani sol ke koton do bi wo be fata na banko kada with all your knowledge your certificate and these are the things men yala ko tubabul be fan na fa kala bi alkata sada dani men ya alkata sada dani men be fan na fa ka wolle la bi. So Adam Baro la nyuma sakunda nyil natale ka Gambia kasara Jawara beje tembo menna ay gamtel tunbulle Jawara ay gamtil tu Gambia no le bulu Jawara ay jol buro tu Gambia le bulu balbi jol buro ina tale ye high tax la jol buro ko jol buro bi mo jol le tata jol buro kono do ko la mo jol le tata jol buro exactly jamanol fon ka fa sinsam you are right Mustafa. They call it sisam in English. Jamanul fanaka find sisam broth. It allow how expensive that is. So be was beno fata Gambia kono dak. Dindin jamani ni gaiga fo ko munam beno titalon. E yine ga munam cotton dot they know cotton but they can never explain how cottons look like. So Jawara nala wo mol anala ikafo menna ko very limited human resources but they able to put Gambia in on a right direction even though it can make claim kafo corruption or tatala masakunda kon but they still Gambia diuni Jawara boarding kolaje, we still have our properties. Many aloko was built by the Jawara government. So ya jambe fana nata sanji mwani mfulabe sire na poro bem found la under control, under our own management. Gamtel was under our own management. And these are the country asset. So ya itel nata ye Gamtel ta ya privatize. Inata ye na poro ta me yalo ko national asset, me yalo ko sama. Ntel hand ntel mankuno ma but diuni men benala in next generation maybe they can plan something there. They yo fenko fananta to privatize it to 30 years sanji tansaba. Ni manda wola nfon la silo God given asset to us na banko la silo ya tika ya tile. So nyilu nafa muneti. Wala muka banko la feon ta ka tile because parakatela alondite la ferete la pour kana feon manage no. So with all their degrees, masters, if they cannot able to manage our country national asset, what else can they manage? Is that not a shame? Because nyaju be al barak turukila nyun company me yalo ko bi wolle gambela asset. They are not spending eko wolle nyanta another seaport lola for tangela mo for mintola. They don't have money. But the money may yalo kodo may yalo ko ba the revenue may yalo ko because I think they are receiving 70%. Gambia is taking only 30%. So that 70% if wo kodo me ba so ka poroto fon la poroto ko tame manage no la wo kodo kilo ni bole chikala ka samba kata managemento e beta wo kodo le talebe profito me so they don't come with their own money. So that's so you how stupid our people are. It's a disgrace. You have a lot of doctor title holders, lot of master degree holders, lot of so-called intellectual. A small country like Gambia, they cannot able to manage our national asset. Is that not a disgrace? Until someone have to come from somewhere to come and manage your own property for you. Is that not a disgrace? So what is the use of your education? What is the importance of your education again? Because education is to uplift yourself from the poverty. Create something that will benefit the majority in the society. But if the educated people are become liability or the intellectual become the liability on the poor people, that country will never move forward. That's why today Gambian can meant for intellectual, they become a bootlickers. Because the education system, that is a failed education system. When the colonialists, in the colonials, many our slave masters, they give us system and then mome yeta ke kala jonti. Why system momentable? That's why even our constitution today, you still have a 1903, 1906. Act in our constitution after having our independence since 1965, and we are still ruled by the masters, our colonial, our slave masters. Is that not a disgrace? That's why Essa Jawla, I don't celebrate anybody. I don't care because I know at the end you will fail. You became a thief because look at our university. Today, some of this, when I see the university called NPP student win, that alone should even make people discouraged. A wicked political party like NPP who don't have any, they have no moral. They have no, these people have even, they don't even have sympathy. A political party that legalizes the corruption. A political party that is encouraging a self-perpetuation. A political party that is, encouraging tribalism. How can any genuine student come together to defend that political party? That's meaning those students, they will be more worse than the people today who are in the position in that political party. So Gambia education system is a failed education system. All they can be brag about is grammatic. Who can speak perfect English? Jomal be English kendo fono la jomal ta fono. Adam Barrow na la nyimmansa kuna nyabe Adam Barrow la de. You know why Adam Barrow amalafika G? Adam Barrow will run for third term. And then at the end, he will put Gambia into the problem and he will put himself into the problem. Because Adam Barrow beta kanyame, nin Gambia diun me hakilotu mbe labanna in another military government and auju billahi min jalika mbe man ala danawol because always this overthrowing coup attempts and all those stuff aka muneke katula coup d'etat attempt la aka bankola economic le murundi koma because no investor, no foreign investor will go to invest in the country whereby it's not, it's not secure. So Adam Baro man pare kaji, anun kairate Adam Baro jindla malo faliolo. Because mole baba la many fankoliko intellectual, why they are intellectual fools. Because intellectual, nite kita intellectual iketa karanati, degree holders. You should encourage something that will help the society, especially the children who will come after you. But in that be, ajubena intellectual, nita da see television, ha yalong, lua in somebody, Adam Barolal, it's all bullshit. Until the education system is the most failed education system in entire world. Look at how many thousands of students, many are graduating from universities, from grade 12, from college. What impact are they doing in the society? Nothing, absolutely. All they became thieves, liars, attacking people for the president. Because they don't have self-confidence. Yaje ning education system of better yata. Aka do kwole aka employment le create bankokan. Because the people who are graduating from universities, from the skill centers, they can able to employ themselves. But now government student, men graduate from grade 12, what he or she can do? Nothing apart from the speaking grammatic, good grammatic. Well, you see them, they are bragging about I A English, I A science, I A this nonsense. All what they can do is that. But you graduate from grade 12, what can you do? There is no experience there. And those who graduate from the university, what can they do? They cannot do anything for themselves. And we see 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒏 and his kind who graduate from the university from the Gambia. They are I think they are the first batch of the Gambian university. What he become today? I cannot press down a boy. What kind of the human resources is that? Education and intellectual. Ite press down a moto guidance. Ibe borla press down a moto normal. Because you want employment. You want to secure your job. We see the people, many along go woli, ye londo le soto. They became a self-reliance. Yalo muneketa. They became a consultants. They don't need government jobs. They create jobs and to help the government unemployment to be improved. You know, they call themselves economists, like a 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒏. They don't need government jobs. The companies who are consulting those people to do consultancy for them. Some become editors for the companies, foreign companies or private companies. But they care less about the government jobs. But look at our education system. Everyone, na student will make a university. If government don't employ them, they cannot be employed by anybody else. And they cannot create anything for themselves because nothing is in their head. Na manke English grammatically. Wala tinabi social media. Gambia diun kaprat munelang ka angalele fono. But will speaking English will develop your country? No. Your skills, your experience, mentality that will develop your country. Wala tina bi ekaboja ji university be mole neni kam Facebook because fenta kunkon. Londo kamo kulule. Londo akamo kulule. Ning adamadi we londo so taka kulule. Yaje londitio bukalo afanya ka afo kontemu londitio. And they look at even the social media. Go to this all these TikToks. You hear some idiots. They are wasting their time characterizing United Democratic Party, insulting UDP party leaders, and they call themselves politicians. Only stupid politician will waste your time on your fellow opposition because you don't like them. You are not a politician. You have a hate in them. All I can for Essa support us only. You know some of the Essa support us so many along ko ibe TikTok because Essa Jawla mantal TikTok. Sometimes I come across some of their audios, I know that, or some of their videos, I know that these people, they are ignorance. You know, Gambia dimu yamira ko naka angale kamfono, ignorance mune. And ignorance, arabol kolo la jahili. Jahiliya anu, ye jahiliya je dawoda. is very, very dangerous. Walakin sukula la ya. Ako mu'min mankaran. Ako mu'min mankaran summa lam tafhamu wa kola mari man na fahamu ako al mautika ite mari lafsaya khairun wala fi samantiyata min hayatika ila balwoti. Ako adamadi men mankaran ama na fahamu soto ako wala saya wala fisiyata ala balwoti katu mune keda ni continue ta balula, you are going to create the blunder, open blunder, and that creation of blunder may lead you to go to hellfire. So sometimes some of the Essa following political supporters, they are not politicians. These are the group of people who have a special hate in them. They have opportunity to spew their hate against the United Democratic Party or against the certain tribes. Many are local, they don't appreciate them. That's why when they sit on their platform, all they can do is spew nonsense. UDP 10, UDP 10. You call yourself as an opposition. You want to be a president. You have a leader who is yearning for presidency. Instead selling that leader's agenda. All you can do, every time you go to your platform, because of you have a TikTok or people are watching, yeah, UDP should not lead. Who are you the one who will determine who should lead United Democratic Party? It is after coalition, like but UDP should not lead the coalition. It's UDP member 𝒘𝒘𝒘𝒏 now coalition. I bet most of these Essa supporters, they don't even know what is the politics is. That's why they go to their platform, their TikTok platform, and shouting, UDP better. They have an anger issue. These people are not politicians. Some of them are tribalists. Some of them, they are ignorant. Yalo Gambia di unika ignorance ate kamila ko kominko no wala mu kan read kan write. You can read and write, but you are still illiterate. Kila sallallahu alaihi wasallam abuka alphabeto suteno. Kila sallallahu alaihi wasallam abuka alphabeto karano. But he is the most intelligent and intelligent human being that ever exists on this earth. Walatina still people are learning his behaviors, his footsteps, his animole kachal men so funkata universal to ke karang, but katala funka from mala behavior ala human being ala intelligence la level fang ala kota mbuka soto no. And he cannot read and write. So that shows you that niaje alako diaje kila ko mole ko ali karang londo nyining talabul ilmu faridatu ala kulli muslim wal muslimat londo nyinu farla yata muslime ke on muslime musa yaje adamadi meye londo soto ingani yo fang, you don't even have time. Most of these European scientists, most of these biggest scientists in the world, do they even have time for tribalism? Do they even have time? Like the people like this Mustafa Njai, did he have a tribalism? And then Mustafa, I never hear that Mustafa Njai went to university. He even once Kankala interviewed Lamwako, Amara School of Complete. But how many intellectuals he is employing them today? Yalo Adamadium. Knowledge is not about to read and write. Because Adamadium kakarang anyante sola hakilolela. Wale atin alako ngas jahannaba parendi jinnol ning adamadun men yalonko lahum qulubun la yafqahuna biha. Ngas sondomol dila barila wo sondomol ibukembi sa ila wo sondomol yusno to think about good things. Alako mosi fal wol found in fact alako ulaika hum qal an'am wol kamun talako beon benyamin. United Democratic Party ibe pala so le nyinin kan Gambia diwni bulu ande mantara nyinin kan force kono mba nyinin kanne ko because hani kila sallallahu alaihi wasallam bena adamadun kan tembo men alaka yakone ko ma arsalnaka illa al balagh meki fenna fokanna kila riya futande damantolma anda kayna qulu lin nasi qawlan hasana kuma kendo fo moli woto nibe ntole mu parti leti me yalon ko ntemanke UDP pala assembly je fenfendembul am just ordinary member and sympathizer. But UDP is calling each and everyone because the country is belong to all of us. Why will I sit here wasting my time on Essa when I'm not paying my tax to the Essa? Why will I be sitting here wasting my time on Essa supporters? I wouldn't do that. Because the position and the palazzo men tela party banyininka womanda Essa file bulokono. The only thing I can do, walamuko, is to engage Essa file the supporters. So how will I get them in board to rescue our country? Even I have I don't know whatever problem when I have with Essa file, that shouldn't make me to shy away from them, because near one common thing is here. Wala mu banko nyinti nal dentamenna. Adamadi una wato importante re pour que la time utaka a west fenka me yalo kate nafa kele. So wala tina Essa file supporter soul. I think Essa file should sometime once in a week to enlighten his supporters. Not all of them, but most special like those many alonko, they are sitting in TikTok. Because the Gambian student, the problem with the social media, we can come and spew nonsense. But and you know that United Democratic Party is one of the biggest party in the Gambia today. You can't deny that. There is no political party in the Gambia today, these opposition parties, who can win even a mayoral seat without the backing of United Democratic Party. A political party, local presidential election, they score almost 240,000 votes. Itala party leader is even less than 100,000 votes. And you are provoking that party supporters, telling them that, Allah party munity, like if they are the ruling government. I think it is right time for Essa file to every week once, at least one, engage his supporters to enlighten them, to teach them about the politics. Because most of his supporters, they have a personal hate in them. Some from PD or ACE. Some there, they have something against, not United Democratic Party, but they have this feeling that UDP is a Mandinka party and they hate the Mandinka. You don't run the politics like that. That's why in German here, Nasi party they don't like the migrants. But they still go to the migrants and engage them. Because they know that some of the migrants, they have a German citizenship. And they cannot win their election without having the vote of some of those migrants. So therefore, manding kolka for mennako, eka kutu kuyene, suokone yeta kuto fa ulokona. But most of our young people, a problem moment, they are not smart, they are not intelligent. They don't even know the politics. They just jump because I'm in social media and can just come and spew the nonsense. How can you be a opposition? Even time be waste laba usen tenem. In fact, UDP nyo fok nyo mom degapi. Kan mo wah nyo mom degapi. Nyot Gambian. If anybody tell Essa Jawla you are not Gambian, why should I be mad about that? How many times people have been telling me, yeah, you are not even Gambian? Do I care? But I myself know that I'm a Gambian. Why would that bother me if someone tell me that you are not a Gambian? My forefathers, they have their own villages. I have a village in the name of the Jawlas. So if someone tell me you are not Gambian, why would I be mad about that? This is something that never bother me. So what until the United Democratic Party let us engage. Adama Barrow is ready to kill. Adama Barrow is ready to stay in that power as long as, because it's God who can remove me from this position. Because it is the God who gave me this position. And niaje leader na fikolum. Niaje leader la mampare kaji. Yaje leader that the person is ready to turn to be a dictator. Because all the dictators, most of the dictators, especially like the Muslim nation, they hide themselves behind the Islam in the name of Allah. Because nite ko Allah le nyim palaso di lawo Allah le bela palaso bodi la. Who is your Allah da? Since ite ka million tika kadi molla. Ila le tanul kono borteje. E ka million di wo momel la pour e face a follo mu ila Allah tiba. Ando nyil kilinteje Adam Barrow bi na contest tala tatam ala te malay ko kila na ka fay ko hani tatam la katun mela wato ba. Misili moli jama beje ke ike dende nafiki yale koma. Misili meya manke nyinti ko ala ka diamu adamadu ye bari niaje hani ala subhanahu wa ta'ala nabe diamu la adamadu akafu mulin la allakum taqilun la allakum tatafakkarun la allakum ta'lamun pour nyintuma do batal sike hakil malti walakin alako atele kam man sayadi mola men diata bari foni ayo nyin danta woto ala be diamu ka hakil mal Qur'an wala wodi kilu aka jolle ku jolle fasarno ala ko tu'til mulku liman tasha ndele kam man sayadi mola men diyatani bare alaka walakinna ko alinga karam ni man karam fanantul men man kara we should not follow our pride. Let us ask like ala men for fasalu ahlu zikra in kuntum la talamun al mol nyinin ka men yalo nite malo don't make yourself big but yalo muneke society nabe tinya kaka muneke alkanya tun kolle tombo men yalo ko they don't care about your unity walakin ala ko hanifra auna ay wala fo ala wala fo fira auna ay fo fira auna la man tole ka ni tandi la ko fira auna de atebe banko kanne ja'ala ahli hasiyaa kala man tolta ke dividend di fira auna ka wala qur'ano la munyiti de ja'ala ahli hasiyaa ayala man tolta ke groupe ni ka siyaa wala muko kamolta ke dividend di aba ayake mun dalila le ka yastadaifu ta'ifatu minhum pour ka modol ta ka kafo dol ta asol lamfundi no nyamenna na yo lamfundi saja ina tilimbali yakela walakin ko yastadaifatu ta'ifatu minhum pour ka modol lamfundi na ye lamfunda be munekela yujabbihuna abunahum wa yastahayuna nisaakum ake men lamfundi ka fo men lamfundi aka tilimbali la wala kedin kewli fa kedi musol bula bigo sa suspect ko wala din kewli wala bata ketala bar muna ala na men ke jombe kuno la wala wala tinna man sawo man sa ka division okay ala bamote nyi nyala man sawo man sa ke tuku ala ko manafiki ala bala multala ke dundi nyoka yalon kam men foni mole do wala mu ke ka fo mole ha ala le kam man sa sindala itata lo laynoto binin somanda ko be bero le gilo na boxing don kon e lota tilola e kana fo mole ko ala le kam man sa tombo andi tele tata o man sa tombo ndeli son tale ko yalo adamadi on yaade ko muslimi na afiko le siata gambia kono yalo muneke momen kallo ya ka fo kon telata ala la kerol bar saying nin ala la kero ilata wala ala ko atele kam man saya atele kam mo ke man sati diata we don't deny that aya sa fe kunale adama de una destiny mo fen fen di boss dola but any destiny in this world I fenne suko me yalon ka be tukla wala walakin ala ko inna makanna fil ardh lahu atina kullu shay'in shababa fa'atiba ushababa few fen be nyin dunya konon to ala le yadada qur'ano la muni inna nte ala de makanna fil ardh nga fenne ke nyim banko ka wala mu ko ngadari ke banko kanne atayna kullu shay'in sababa few fembe nyin dunya ko nte ala la dafirun kono na ala la dafirun kono few fembe keri be fenso la membe lale kante ala la yadada ako nga few fen dada nyin dunya ko nga sababu kala including the mansaya wa mansaya ntel kono jomal le musababoti mansala sababoti praike mansate bintu men nan telle kata mansal tombon ala la nabiyo mola mambula mobula wol tombon na fone yol choose mol kono pour kay tombon kafo ay kila tikala ka nyeke nabiyo mol ay musa tika yake nabiyo mol ay ismaila sika yake ay tika bari mansalin telle ko tombo wo mansal la tombon diro sababu mun telle walakin akoy inna makanna fil ardi lahu atina kullu shay'in shababa few fembe nyin dunya ko non tele yadada nga few fembe nyin dunya fanan ko nga sababu le kala amanda wolate ala koy fa atiba ushababa albula wa sababu noma walatinna ala le courant dada bar nin courant late kay kata docteur le bu kasi so ko ne ka ko ala le nyin courant lan ka babulan kan ay sababu le di la membe courant nyin bondi le ka wodo nin ala koy kon tele kam man sa tombo bara sababu le di la men kam man sa fanan tombo anda yal dandar la man sa kurun la di kollal anda kuriya fanan nyita molla munamu kuriyati munamu kende yati atutede adamadi una bulu which part you choose to follow but at the end ne toro men sotoje kanana ala tonya ba ala kilum ka tele kam man sal tombon atele kam man sayadi mola men diata balate ala kilum fanan nata wo man sala ala sababu mu jomalti wala mun tol adamadi wudi widi electric ndelle kata man sal tombo itata yela tabiro bula itata lo bere fay lay not itele ye bero dila enen ngani yo tata e baajulo name fo ala la jitana e malay ko lekina kata bero jula labba e ko fen ko kon wodo alama wo man sa tombo nim man sa kuriyata meni ba ko ma wolle kuriya dunda kono kata telle naaje ko ala konye ko ata'awanu ala albirri wa taqwa al nyoma ko al nyo semben tuya ala nya silawni ku kendolla wala ta'awanu ala al-ismi wal udwan wa mashiyatu rasul al kananyo sembentu ya konnante yalla bari bi men be NPP sembentu yaka NPP ngoli kallo e kata modo liya inyo misilme din al bebota kabila kilun le kona dolbe jal bota sade kilun le kono ala ko innamal mu'minina ikwatun misilmul be al be mu bakilin fakilun fa asilu bayna ikwaykum al tilal badingul tema woto nimmo nata akoye ko kari nyol mal jawolleti ite mu fuloleti sai e fulole muite bar misilmul muite fulanje keta gambia diwonete. And no, humanity is the most important thing. Yeah, Adamadi Jabe Moldundi Kanyola, they have no respect for the humanity. Because if you respect the humanity, Eka Adamadi ya kuokabe toro la Adamadunka etebuka waki. Ando alako kila nyim foloko man kana yu'minu billahi wal yawmil akhir falyakrim jaruhu. Momo la man yata alala. Ilata alalin kila lako alkiamalolum fanambe murlawo alalaka. Akoye nyante signol bunyalal. But be mul kallo e kallo so say no fok no mom ti degabe abeni disrespect ali alfa ate ko muslimol ala ko innamal mu'minina ikwatu muslimol be al be badin kili say tela fulaya mis ikada nyindo mu mandin ko nyindo mu flotal be muslime ya nyine al bendi andu al kamalolu wala kumayata alaya ila fulaya man kumaya alaya ila mandin kaya man kumaya alaya wala atina ala ko say alfon atel ning ala alkata nyo so la sila Gambia diun katu ala ko nali be nyaton kol tombon nali si tombon based on alla cultural beliefs nyol kam al signaton kol tombon men yalon ko nalla belief nyol la kol tata al nyaton kol tombon men yalon ko yalla dino libunya al nyaton kol tombon men yalon ko balla cultural respect la wala ci nabi hani kila birana tay ko dol tar Saudi Arabia kono la mon bayde wala ken nga sumno sodo papa e ko kaka men min la wasiata nok me kaka okay wala muto nyati ay ko dol tar makka kono la mon bondi jede wala dina ni tata yesunno soto ka fo men nako sunnatul muakkada sunna bambandi woni bejede bari yesunno li fanan soto men yalon ko al mustahab wal mukan ko wallati sunnatul mustahab sunno men beje men yalon ko kan ko wala mo sunnatul fi'liya sunnatul amru an sunno men yalon ko kuila ya bada anayi ya mar ko men la ko ngakete kilinti de sunnatul mustahab sunno me yalla ko kila ya kanule wala ma ya tar kerina aje ko tinyarta te consultate kono wala mu kol cholleti so kila du ko nyaadile ako ako la yenti ko anil hawa in huwa illa wahyuha abu kadiya man yola diala de ay ko tuje wonin na nyantol tata ni na misilmi al tata wala kene ko nyaka to tal dolo kono aya kila benatar le nyaka to tabe keri musol la nyaka to ta tar keri na manke kila le ya dundi bara yaajele ko kuulo mo ala kolchole mu anda kolcho kendolo mu fanan akam mol mako ele adamadi yala nyantola karola ama foy kal kana kya koy ko nal ba kala fanal kana ku ke membe mol torala adamadi wonal hukukul hin ikafo menal hukukul hin insano adamadi wona hakko the right of the human akila le a respect tambe adamadi mbena walakin koy ko ma fali kana kede bar nali bake dal saddan dula kala pour al kananyo al kana al bake kamel al kaneto rasama ite toro soto lagedo yallo that is very clear wal musunno lati kila yetari abe ke kanne so kila e fiofen jaman diamala ay fiofen fanan jaman fatan dama wal mukullati ku kendol e ka fulal sunnatul mustahabba woto alin kananna kuol tankala alakan mfawni bulol ye ko men dunkela alaka koriyon ka ci ka fo yalla mo def ni yalla deful dara yaw ya ko def baylen si fake islam bi albeni muslime nafiki ya fake ol menda man sali kata ka million ci kay kadi mo le ka fo ko fay bu kalo je ka fo ko we get a big e ka UDP la kunu kumal men yalo ko e ke bodi party ko ne ka fo ko we kake big fish so wolle wo big fish ni walla muy la ala ñolti bawo adam baroko alale atitinde sala alala mo big fit ñol you know society naltata niye man sadia kal dundi ñola wo man samanna pour ka tolu jamal da handi wo man sanata pour ka ate fanrichindi kala ensora ala sorandi comme fra awna tarta nyamena abe bani israel an kol tora kan bara kanitandi do la telle betata ni israel an kol in fact ni israel an kol man te kanu atara ko men bebe do ko la bulu ala nisi kantalale ala ba kantalale ala samado lale wo be mo israelan kolle atanala mo men e fanti ka wo israelan kolti wolle betel balundi kan walakin na ko fi samante ya be ala le ali sabar adama diwne alkana man sal tombo wala nyaato ibe batara yake kal ka fay ko alale yamar ko ngabule no alata mo yamar la kabula mo kuno no ma kato nani tara suratul luqman ko en ko tabi'u shabila man anaba ilayya albula mo la silol no ma meni e fansay alama mo men ya fansay alama atabe mo men maraka bu kata ka wol dundi nyola ka fo dole atelle fisiata nyilta atelle bediata nyilti nyin don man la fintel mo li man sanati la kado ko ke mo le man sanati ndi jomala nyantan kanula jomala man nyan kanula Adama Barrow na la mulu. Niaje NPP be surviving. NPP is depending on tribalism. Ye banko diunita misil me diuni men yalo kal bota sate kilun leto. Al bota korda kilun letal nenam problem soto. Al bota sate kilun dal be sirin fula suru wadel la sate o nen fulol le be sirin nen ni nenam problem soto. Ndi ndiuni muluta nyokan kuluta nyokan katulun nyokan we never have a differences. Bi kana ita fontele wo fulole comme ni ko tiangal fulole ko mandin kol man la fial. What does that make sense? Did that even make a sense? Moment man la fial ni be sirin ini how many years al nenni man problem so albeta nyola badet albeta nyola fulli. Because they are taking the advantage of our awareness. Comme na awareness men dasata e ka wol advantage ta kan kamfani nyokam. Bawo itele men laftalla. Ali nyinin ka say ninyin doni man la fintella barna afeya be marlinga telmin bulal be munake kany. Today they are enriching themselves. Most of Adam Barrow and cabinet ministers. You think why they are lying? They are lying to protect their positions. Because the position is a mentor. Iban laughing control be bata men kono telemur wo kono. So they have to lie to protect their position. They have to lie to naje ko Adam Barrow ko ete bola jang ebe ta tamna even though the country can put into the chaos, but they care less because they don't want to be softness like we are in. Until poor people many so all they can do now, yeta fulolia manding kol man la fialla, manding kol fulo man la fialla, surwali ni manding kol man la fialla, jolal ni aje ya jambe bondi jay man la fi manding kol man la fi jolal. Be it the certain is most of our these young peoples many alako jolal, not all of them. Many are looking at social media. Look at their comment. Because they are manipulating the society against the Mandinkas, against the Fullers, against the Jawlas. And not only Jawla. Jawla don't have that population to make Yajambe as a president in that country. Yajambe do get the votes in Badibu. Badibu don't have any Jawla villages there. Go to URR. Yajambe vote Jawla Sotoji. We don't have single Jawla village in URR. But he was winning there. He was winning in Sandu. But still, Jamme, because the president on him, African Yaton instead bringing their people together to develop their nation. Because when the nation develop, it is not developed for only Jawlas. It wallahi billahi tallahi siwo Gambia let us not fool each other. There is no single tribe in that country. May yaloke bafla ko 100% of their tribe. They are all living in good. Na ate sarakule du, ate mandinka du, ate fula du, ate siwo sila du. Bari yalo munebe Gambia. Na karam baliyal ni na kunim baliyalu. Ni mansa kundang de okula bolle taka ke fan enriching di. Alinga jola ali kamfande manding kol kamma, alinga fulol kamfande manding kol kamma, alinga sarakulol kamfande manding kol kamma isaje ko ntol meni be position to na position to itel meni be itel manding kol ni fulol ni surwal ni jola meni be bata kono isitu wo bata ni kono. And that's how the failed government operate. Because momo lafta bankola nyato tala. Ko Banco cannot go without unity. Let us not fool each other. Even United Democratic Party, not the same model. What you can do? Gambia di ubelebe na mojoka. But imagine Kaloja in Europe here, you cannot call the opposition enemies. You don't matter to say that even you are a state minister. But in Gambia state minister Kalwa Kafu Banco Dune, these are enemies of the nation. A citizen, many aloko they are struggling, paying their tax. They are not touching a single butut of the state, but instead paying the tax so that the state can be developed. But the ministers who are under our payroll coming out calling those people as the enemies of a country because of the political difference. Because that is the way they put it in our brain core. Nitaka Mansa agents, you are an enemy of the state. This is how Yahya Jammeh was operating. That's why today, Molika prefer ko ibabe batamen kono, ifabe batamen kono, idiuni be batamen kono. Let those people remain in that property rather than to see United Democratic Party ruling in the Gambia, because they feel ko United Democratic Party, if those people rule the Gambia, that means Mandinkas are the only people they are going to favor them. But are they going to collect the tax from the only Mandinkas? No tribe alone will develop that country, because that country cannot develop without the proper security. Tell me one country in this world, many they achieve development without this proper security. In Gambia, in security sectors, you have Jawlas, you have Mandinkas, you have Sarahules, you have every kind of tribe in our country who are working in security. And that is the truth. So why will you think that? Why will you think that? Only that, likewise, last time, the son. Ngamo stupid in Doja Kafonyeko, there have been no Mandinka government here in the Gambia. Never. Ngalo the person is stupid. Can there any tribe government in that country? Adama barola mansakunda Mandinka jolle beje. Tia jambela mansakunda Mandinka jolle tartaje. So they did this. Until supporter sol kandundi nyola. Yenyin kele ka bankodi uni kamfande nyoka ba pour ite situ semboto nyamena. Bar ngafo ene ko. Yes. Memba nge kondo. Ga nge kondo mbemba. Ngafo ene ko. Ibulisa bring ayafo ala subhanahu wa ta'ala eko. Aka ala eko lamula anna jahannama min al-jinni wal insi ajma'in. Aka mbela mol be filin ala abirako atodo bring ala ko ibulisa fundin na nemo kono. Ibulisa mu ne fay. Aka la akwainahum ajma'in. Bare aka ko mbela man tol be filin layte ala. Aka ko bar jomalu ana yalo ibulisa moli ama ibulisa is one of the most intelligent Satan. Yalo bring ala kai sujidi adamadu waye bande. Ala kai ko ite bulisa mune muila daliloti ite sujidi de la lima fion ye kala katani nde ala menda mbulola. Ibulisa ala jabi munela. Akai ana khairu minhu. Akai intelligence ata nyimpoto walakin an koy adamadu alal hakilo do fanna warando mammo wati. Aman dafe wata aman mansa wata aman fenne wata nyin duniya kono. Namruj bun Khaniyan fa warandole yakina ala ya halaki. Iblis lanatullah fa warandole yakina ala ya halaki. Satan me alon koy ka fay ko Iblis birin ala kay muna muy daliloti te sujilla fion yende ala menda mbulola ay ala jabe munela akay ko ana khalaqatani min nur wa khalaqatani min nar wa khalaqatahu min ti yente dada munela noro demba yente Iblis dada wala yenyin adama dum e ko ngasudi me yada da poto la poto noro Iblis ay men fo adama dum dada ta poto noro na ko bara nyinata ko ala adama dum danya explain le kani tandiko nga adama dimu dadale kabo mani yokono kala la kadi khalaqna al insana min sulalatin min tin nga adama dimu dadale kabo ndi poto nori kono manda wo sulalatin min tin ako kola o jalinahu min nutfatan nata ke mani yoti ngabo mani ya kono summa khalaqna nutfatan mudghatan ngawo awo mani yole ta ngawo mani jiyo ngata da ngake yele kunturote o khalaqata mudghatan ijama ngawo subu kunturota nga kulo dungala faksawna ijama allahma nga wo kulo fana nata nga subo dakabala nga nata nga adama dum ke dada wo nyale albirin ala yo daro lo nyoka ko fatabarakallahu ahsanal khaliqin wallahi tento bente ala yente ala le mu dar fi on be nolat ayafo adama di dambande la ay malaikul da mafo akay kali sawni bankola bare wo makinayo bare maji adama di una daro kani tandi iblis ala ko ala man fe ala adama di una walakin nabiri iblis ay banka juidi adamay amanke fenkante fo fa warando walakin nyin duniya ye fa warandi laji dawda afaye sondongo man futa malo membe kerim duniya kono yaji momin adamadi ajube ni lonnal jamaabe je kejele ke fa warandi nem fa warandi moje dawda do afaye ko labo be halakilale yalo dabruji bun kanyan aya fa warandi le fa kallo aka fo musa aka fo ibrahim alayhi salatu wasalam de kamo wulindi lan kamo faale Ibrahim atodun Fir'auna la'natullah alayhi birim Musa nata kan ay muna fo Musa e aka fayne ko ma rabbuka jomala mu ite mara yode man so me yeda ye fa warandi won bari maje birin ala ya muta tembo men nan koy ko mo tawnte men baba la hamana nyul e ka Musa jelala ko ma kan bari birin saya pareta mutala yalo nako tonya ngam fenke ntemu Musa Mario sallallahu walakin ko amantu billahi amanna bihi bani Israil wa ana minal muslimin akon kalita man sonta man so man lata ala me yalo ko bani Israil an ko men yalo ka juru tela akedi uni fa ko lata ala men lata fa lata wala wotomo is already late saya ba mutakanya saya silannaji ala fans jam fande fa warandola nin siwo siyamira ko tele fisata sido te bu jahilol imalo membe kele siman fisiya siti ngi kolle yem fisiyande nyolti e kontem me fisiyande mo kontonti kontom mam moke mo kendeti siman moke mo kendeti mola adamadi wona daji ko kila ala men fa innaka la ala khuluqil ajib nale molje daji ko batra yalal kanabule noma mo kendo bukata kara siyo doli aka fo ko nin si doli wol malla fin tele fo mole adam baro natin tele pour mole akano ba mole la musol soto so ko ne ka fo carrément de kano bari mole natin dige dalila le kamma yaje wo men ka faali ko ntol bukaman sa soso alal hakilo tuito wolon nal men ka faale ko tel bukaman sa soso ala ma fo mo kana man sa soso de lon nawlo na ya fa ko e man tonya fo walla fata atelon nay ko aya besi aya jomale kan kati kamen fo ati Allah ati rasul wa ulul umur minkum al bulante ala noma al bulakila noma al bulante ala noma anin alla nyaton kolu men yalo katelle tambindal nyato bar ala mun lawo kan akale ko fa in tanada'tu fi shay'in faradduhu ila Allah wa rasuluhu bar nal nin alla wo nyaton kolu wali nyoyata al simurunte ala kan anin nakila sai silan ala ko nal nin alla nyaton kolu wali nyoya ite nata ite konte ko kanyaton ko wali nyoya haramu tala sai ite nin ala jomala be tonya foka idin qur'ano e fanyininka when the God said that ati Allah ati rasul wa ulul amr minkum albula ala noma albula kila noma albula ala noma ani nyaton ko men yalo ka telle tamben baral ni dal aliye tamben di dalila le kan bari nan ni walida wa dalilo le kan albe murla alde ala le kan anin kila al ni wali nyoyata mul le kan walakin ala buka adamadi nakar ala ko ma rabbuka bi zalamin al abid adamadi wona ba fan nakar la bar ala manke adamadi wona nakar lati de ayalo ne ko nafikol be sotolan men yalo ko yastaruna al hayata ad-dunya bil akhirati ibela dunya taala wal yala al kiyama wafile wal mansula al kiyama la wal be men no ma dunya lamu bar ala dun ko ma yuridi sawabal dunya momo lafta dunya fano la nutiya abadi lelal wa man yuridi sawabal akhirati momen fanan lafta al kiyama la abadi lelal atudete mari rabu wala adina yin dunya ko yin mansal noma molle be je buke mire la alkiyamolla wal bukasiye mire la sayalla wal menna te da natari te labbal wala fisya be wala to ibe wala kila puri la dunya yin nya katu imam wal manke alkiyamal wal kaminda alkiyama ko mun talin wala be na man sakundal kono bi wala tinay kallo e ka hani ala ko lakad qarrabuna bani adama nga adama di buuñale ama fo nga fula buuña ama fo nga mandinka buuña ama fo nga sara kulle buuña molle la mentality li muñiti bigos de stupidity mentality karñol le fisata karñolti kam man fisiya kanti nko hani arabu kan me yalo ko tole o dol beje kamta ko arabu kan ne fisa dak bandin kakan arabu kan man fisa mandin kakanti arabu kan man fisa fula kanti kan man fisa kanti nyin dunya kono momo ya fo ya fay buli yale fo na ko kan karle fisa dak kan kar kato hani qur'ano motelo la qur'ano kono memba fole ko nte de ngaje qur'ano kono le ko nyin kan alale ya foje ko nyin kan karle fisa dak nyin kan karde alale kan beda kawo kay ba fula alale ya dada ato ate ala ya moy walakin hani qur'ano ako ay mune fo qur'ano kono inna anjalnahu qur'anan arabiyyan la'allakum ta'qiluna nga qur'ano jindi arabu kawnela ama foko kato arabu kawne fi siyata de ako la'allakum ta'qiluna fotuma do bato wo arabol sikke hakili malti sikke miralal ando ala ya cleandile adamadi woni but adamadi wona inferiority complex fa warandol men yalon ko nga sotom famma nga men karan e buli salaman sa folo mel tambita fa warandol lantel mu kar nyolle tentel e manke fenti alaya e daji ko wala mu fenti alaya inna akramakum indallahi wa atqakum albemo kendon te alaya wo mu jomalati men fisiata atul beti alaya me daji ko kendo soto etilamu ila siyamodi daji ko kendo be siyo bele kono daji ko kurum be siyo bele kono walakin hani qur'ano ko arabol al arabu asadul kufra wan nifaq kuton kanol te banne kono arabol kono woto qur'ano fa manji kafo ko ngita arabu kan la kato arabu kan fisiata kantide arabu kan man fisia kanti nyin dunya kono ala ya koyndilo inna anjalnahu qur'anan arabiyyan la'allakum ta'qiluna nga qur'ano jindi arabu kan la fotuma do bato isike hakkil mat biral lal ando nita ta fana ko take alako ma arsalna min rusulin illa bilisani qaumihi liyubayyana lahum nte nabiyo mo kila ala mantoli kan foni be nabiyo mo kila kawo kanna abe kawne fola wo abe ta kam mol men ka abe kawne fola wo mol ye jamaaye kawme moy. So that is very simple and clear. You don't expect kila is a Arab alay ma aki mandinka kawna walakin arabu kan qur'ano jita telera bara manke ko arabu kawno fisiyata mo ko dentide katu wo ayol jita ben kan ka prokata samba molu kan wo marimu arabule walakin tawrat amanji arabu kanna katu ajita men ka manke arabuti injil manji arabu kanna ajita hibris le ajita men kan nabila isa manke arabuti jabur nyin kitabu nanol be na manke qur'anol ti kitabu jomala jita arabu kawna katu wol jita men kay mu kawmenti alay wo kawna jindi kanna but that does not mean that because of those holy books wol jita wo kawnina because of that those languages are the highly than the others. That is a lie. There is no language is superior than the other. Alay kawni dadale ay siyoli dada pour nyen kammala ko kala atem ala subhanahu wa ta'ala ala waro ala kawa ko ala daro no kanyi tandin tol adamadi wala katu ala adamadi buka bolo no alama ebe funtila dawdate ala le yelong ebe na few fulate ala yalo na wala tinna ko ay siyoli dada pour ka al sinatul alwanuha kanna ko lalta ka different de katu nay ko la kiline de safo ko maje ala felenta fiu dambane dada no ala felenta ko yo dambane dada no ala felay kan kilin dambane dada no bar mo buke kutu ala la de walakin na ko ngani kan dada la pour al sinyo soute nakawa ni bemu min ayati llahi lati ala taala la kawa ko la mu woto alala dari fewndo nyen dabu nyalale ni lata alala ay few meni dada respect them woto kawo kan nyen tabu nyala don't belittle any other languages because all these languages are created by Allah bari sidaje dindin korto hey so say nyo fok nyo mom si dekabi nyo say because the stupidity of the society is spread by our own leaders. Adamadi yale folot wala tina kila lota sallallahu alaihi wasallam akola fadilu bayna li arabi wal ajamiyun fi samantiyati arabun si kota tema wala aswadu ala al abyad fi samantiyati koyo anin fi tema fisamanteyate finnin koytema koy man fisiya finti fim man fisiya koyti kola man fisiya kolati ala ko alla kila ko alla fisamantel be mento illa bi taqwa na man ka alla nya silaw be nyonya nyama alla fisamantel be nyonya wonya oto la fulaya ye na famuna janni ka braj ndem fulol e be braj la ndem sarakulol e be braj la ndem mandin kadim perle ta ye na famune la ni fata ka fule ko furo ka moy de mandin ka furo fele e bu ka fo fula furo fele andi yaje gambia diu si karang ason domo be farin teb ndem sarakulolati e sarakulol le fisiata si dolti e ma je telle nyin keten e ma mandin kol fanena telle keten telle kabu keten abbe habba am mansura abbe nyaka jom am kunta yalla momo wanti e nyantolo na wolum ko alala kawa ko wolum siyol yaje ne mandin kaya bunya be fula ya bunya lal ka tum mune keta yalon ne konte mu mandin ko le nga bunya yela mandin kaya bunya nyame mola fula ya bunya wonya mola sara kulle ya bunya wonya ma kati be mu alala dar fion let par sonni me futa balul hen tel mu mandin kolleti hen tel mu sara kulle ala ko kullu hijibin bima ladainahu farihina kafu itemu menti proud wala but ni proud lela e momenti kabdo proud dol fanantala e momenti ko kato you have a respect for all of them because you know that they are all God creators. We are all God creation. Wala dina ngo yaje mo fiuni batal do bal kalifon la bulla barol le mude surtout la Gambia albe fake muslime yalle bulala ni segul betal la mole min barol ka ala ko tenne because na dina nyaton ko fon membe kawandirol lay ka kawandol nyaala tombonde pour kana nyaton ko ofel no ke da society men ko society be kasaral bawe si moje bi akoy ko ufu bil ahdi innal ahdi kana mas'ula asafo ko alalla lahidol timmandi kato alaka be lahidol nyinin kala alkiamalonuna o mo kilo akadra be baro fasa kan o adu adrealo ne ko baro allahidi tinyalake. Why are you preaching something that you don't believe it? If you believe ko ala be nyinin karo kala lahidol ale, why do you defend someone who break his promise? Bawo akurano ko awfu bil ahd inna li ahad kana mas'ula ala la hidol timbandi katunde ala de mbela hidol nyinin kala alkiyama lolo ite yo long but you still defend the leader isina ya fo ko ka opposition ya haramu tabe bari president membe siring ay palaso men soto haramu kono isay wo haramu say Gambia be nyamen itelle ka fion haramu yandi yana halala yandi isi fion halala yandi yana haramu yandi haramu mu haramu lati wala tan hanye jeno ke nafulo so jeni tubita e bela o jeni ko do ni batala la yabe dunde fion kunna ya waf yake sadati bar mo buka ala tapale ni o yanade ya ebe duro ko wafla yalo duro ko wafo haram tan ye duro ko wafo ye kodo so de ye bunyi mal so de be livre at large e kana fo mo le ha duro ko man bete ale nga duro ko kele e la korda me ba kon Gambia al fake bula niaje ala ko ma ashabatu min shay'atin famin nafsika wa ma ashabatu min hasanati famin Allah adamadi jama al Kairo ni adamadi wuje Kairo kono wo Kairo bota alaleya bal toro jama be je ni adamadi wuje laari wo toro kono dro a fawna bulla barol alakal kana sunyaro alakal kana nyoma koy alakal kana nyoma koy batara yalla alakal kana nyoma koy katar nyo fasala kuriyali kan say ide alo sunyaro haram dal e ka sunyaro ke niye mu de ka jafo billahi ki doxal yalla mo ko dokal rek abga yalla lu binda rek mo wara def ye fo biri beta sunyaro le malo go sunyaro haram dal e biri beta e malo ga haram dal ala ko al kana corruption ke ye mu da corruption le ka fo ala le kiti tanyin kukuru me yalon ka ala koy kanake ni oke ala moy bula wala ifon Gambiano Gambiano la ko bala fa warta Gambiano sta asita jeno la yamuda jeno la ko ala la kito la munyin ha yalo ala kay nata kita men na jomon kuno wodo am nga yalla rek moy bur so ke be dokal yalla la bari danni tebeta yow fu nga dem ni sax yow xamna ne haram la fu nga dem yow xamna ne yalla mu ne bul dem kadu ala koy ko la takhrabu jina alikana sutiya jeno la innahu katu jeno de kana kedal faishan wa sa'a shabila ku kuruna ma kam wol filinde ala la silona e kana e kata o jeno la yemu de ka fo dokal yalla la ban dokal yalla yow ya ko dokal si sabopa way du dokal yalla de yow sa dokal la yow kesse no Gambia mo ne rek bay len tiaxan ken du ko tapale Allah yalla ken du muna tapale yalla billahi alkiyama loluna yen dengen fok ni dengen muna tapale yalla lima taquluna ma la tafaluna muna kenal ka kul kalte men kala ya de men ka fale ko am nga sosé ño fok ño mom dekabi am nga poli baxut kam etenen fulol be sirin sangi jole e kuriyale kela e ma kela in manding kol be siral furuta ño ene man sapi kay mela fenta. Some of the people even insulting Mandinkas, they never have issue with any one person Mandinka. But because of Muneketa, the stupidity. Walakina, do not hate your fellow human being based on hearsay. Alaman lafiala. Alkana mul konkatu mule te kole. Hey kare, fete mala nyi mambetea, fete mala nyi kanyineke. Because you also build hatred for that person and you hear only one side of the story. And this is what is destroying our society. Essa mambeda, essa fan kadila, essa tapale kata. Hana essa mun ikafu nyadi de suru akono. Hana ke essa musna sache sa lifin bi dedet. Hana essa ya musnga jis essa dedet. Ya lotak yeman benda niting ngawale de essa bahu. Essa tribalism. Ya otame nga gom lol. You start building hatred between you and Essa. You don't even know me. Alako ya ayyuhallazina amanu atul mu'min liman yata ijtanibu kathira min adh-dhannu alifatan koko kumuluma inna ba'da dhannu ismu koko kumulum kuma kurum balleti adamadi ukallal. Do not come to Essa. Nobody. Wala nante. I'm myself independent. I know many people call me ignorant because they say I'm illiterate. Manwa kaula. Manwa basela. Base domi base pir. Man kama kunda boy bi suma broda la. Ana am lololo. Ninyo joke base. You see? Now you will see wall of man. Hamga sose bahudra sose because of the politicians, especially like the ruling government, the people working in the government in the Gambia, they are devil, they are evil, they are the wicked human being to the human existence. These people are very wicked. Because being a sose, being a fula, being a wolof, being a Jawla, you are gathering all these people, they are taxed together and blundering it. You don't only blunder our tax there. You don't only neglect our hospitals there. You don't only neglect our schools there. And our children are dying on these dangerous journeys because you cannot employ them. Now, you fail our hospitals, you fail our education system, you fail the employment, and you fail every sector. All you can do now is to come and create unnecessary hatred between the neighbors. That's what this government is doing. Because imantar kula is me wafi no Gambia diun. NPP is a devil and evil party, and no Gambian should defend this political party because this party is a evil party. NPP. Look at the people surrounding. Yalo nitara society kono eka banko la barako lo munela men bali nyato. Eka mojo malle sarbete. Al Gambia ju bali ka mojo malle sarbete. Kafunya dile kafune ni ronya dile suru account ay saka katlen dengen den celebrate saka kati dengen len celebrate rus ka funya dile ku hamne dal amul rus mo bal balol the mannerless people that's what we are celebrating in our society, and that's where ikonita the society kono yalo ala bukala jontonye desan walakin ka hanate ala bukala mantul halaki fonin atata follow ay kilariya kikan ka foy ko nyi mambeta ni ma da ko to mola kan halaki ala jube bi e mol kamomel celebrate the people like Baba Janyul. Sorry to even mention his name, because for me I know mfana namiro fem fisiata momel I don't even like to mention their names because mola kulunyal te killing, but ala men ni nyita adamaduna ntol believe ta men na ale men fonye nyina mu daji ko kurunti ni ngamol je ka wolle ka I'm not perfect nka daji ko kurun kele. That's my nature, but I don't like to go openly disrespecting everybody and insulting people's parents, because ngalo ne ko adamadi wulula ala ko e mo na ko falata kullakuma uffin ka fo e bani fa ka fo e man ala ka haramutan. So why will I associate myself with the people many aloko they are proud of insulting? Nko yenene laje dawda barakata la kuto atelle ba celebrating dila society kendo fa buka de la celebrate, but Gambia fal buka de la celebrate alaka joma le celebrate bi neni lan Gambia no kamo celebrate atella fila diwe kement Gambia no kamo celebrate atella fila musu yekement Gambia no simo celebrate atella fila diwe menka koto diwe menke bar mo dolle ba ke kay ni men mande ko celebrate wala. How many of the Gambians many be la fila bi musu jolle be kibra musu kunda foke kunda mo jolle be la fila bi diwe ke baba jati? How many? But they will be celebrating them. Utabe fundila na be mol nenila, because nyil mu moleti men yalo ko they don't even care less yalo ko dunia mbedia mu katul mo kendolle yalo ni koy be ni mo kompiala membu ke mira alala ete you will be a loser. You will be a loser. Walakinna Qur'anu ko ako ibadur rahmani alladhina yamshuna fil arda hauna idha qatabahumul jahiluna qalu salama. Ako namanta kendulu namanta momen yalu na alanya silannal meni ke mira alkiyamala wallahi ni be tamila molla meni ke neni meni ka kuma jawol foyma mo kuru meni katat neni ro keke la ko ka jabe munela with a peace. Ike respond munela, they respond them with a peace. Ako nyilla munna mo kendolti. But alena society kono jube be ka momel celebrate. President ka mo jomalle be e ka fo jomalle political kono be na iron man na iron lady soul. NPP la iron lady alila strong e ka men be celebrate ale jube. What kind of the humans they are? You see, Adamadi una balwo kono moral is very important. Any society, when the moral, dignity, and then how to call it, the honesty become useless for that society, and that society will never and ever develop. They will never and ever move an inch. In Europe here, many man can mislimate that alakud. There are some certain issues, nila public figures they will force them to resign. But when they did, when in Gambia, in fact, as a Muslim society, when our people do such mannerless issue, we will be celebrating them. And we still call ourselves Muslims. We have the people jumping like from one political party to another because we don't care, we are careless about morality. And we celebrate the people, even the people who don't respect their words, they don't have dignity, we celebrate them and embrace them. Niaje society was society kono barakantan society lo. It's a barakantan society. Wala tinna ko dino ko misilimo nibe mo konna kon dino la ala la silokan niemo kanu fana ibe mo kanu la kanu ala la silokan niemo kon ala la silokan wallahi wa natural quality. In fact, God will bless you for doing that. Wala muko kari la nyin jiko anin dino mante ya kongaka kari be jiko menna mo kende jikate ya kongaka wa mu alala kondiro silole kan kari la ko diata nye kata ka tonya le fode kari la ko le diata nye kata man la fi wuliyala kari la ko le diata nye kata abuka promiso fail you in fact you love that person based in ala silo ya all of apfenke wala. But today our society, those we call them heroes, they will be jump in everything. Like niya mo drum mo koten in talibe ni benyola hanni mantara UDP ko nebe jump la na ye fanke righteous person. We are defending the ebo mo men defending ka. Batu nga kuma kini voye. Ala ko adama di ida. Ha? Ako alida al tulol ali nyalu ala ko kullu ulaika kana mas'alun al kiamalolu nam bebe nyinin kala walakinna Essa Jawla nena kube mboka ko podi ko kono karnen kala mi no ngan jompi je kon kana mo fasalla adama di lo alaye fasa and I don't seek ndunda ko kono mistakenly dim bolle alhamdulillah ninga kuke ya do adama di ila kende ya ni lafta lonna ni dunda problem o kono listening to the people who are calling you under telling you this one is not good. And I have a lot of people who are always calling me. Many are calling up who can call to my company. I don't think this one is good. And I always listen to them because muneketa kila fon sallallahu alaihi wasallam ala kay ko kuntum khairu ummat ukhrijat lin nas ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhauna 'anil munkar. Ako kila ila man tole ne aje fisiyata nyim man ta dolte e kanyo ya mar ku kendole la kanyo fatande ku kunoma woto. If you have, it's a blessing to have people around you, surrounding you. Many alonko niya kuke ike call nanduma hanna tari telte ufo fenkoto. They are always ibuka commenting na in fact I know people they never comment on my wall. I never know that those people they are even following Essa Jawla. But it apale kate doli beje be lori na fenso to lebu kare. Ika lavre kada lori neve batunde. Na mistake ko keda lenga tanga asia. Come like nene I post keja about Banjul, come about tribalism. It cannot quote, it cannot film call taka quotes. It attack akela online me. But I have people. Ninga ku kedro. It can call not do mala. Yafonyo ko no, this one is not. I don't think it's right. Please bring it down. I will salute to these people. And this is the Muslimaya. ولكن كلا صلى الله عليه وسلم أقول دين النصيحة دينه مكونو ديالتي على سايبو لياني كاي لمن أقول لله ورسول نيمو جاي كوكي أقول do not support the people when they made mistake. And then Gambia, this is full in our society. Molbe mistake okela. Jahannama diuni be findila. They will defend them. We see the people defending Atodo, this guy. How to call it? Attack them. I'm not a Muslim music fan. Well, I can also attack la kondiam because I see that he attack my tribes. So, but music is not my music la mo len kando ne kende den tele kulopol bele majan kada kulopol to so adamadi yale what yajele. So in the society when the people made a mistake, advise them katu alay munefo qur'ano kono ya ayyuhalladhina amanu kunu qawamina bil qist شهداء لله ولو على أنفسكم أو الوالدين والأقربين على قاتل ما أدمدون من الإيمان ياتنتي على لا على كنيو ما كوي لالتي على لا سيلوكا نمو بويتا كوكي ممن بديا قرانو مويده أكو لو على أنفسكم هنين آياتن كو كيتو نيم بويته دي فونيكا إفوني أماندا ولا أكو أو الوالدين ولا يباني فا هنا بويتا ولكا ولكن أنكو يكو بي مو كندو من سيادة Gambia be bata tanton fa on le jikol mo ya jal kanyim fenko men keten nimmo kendo siata society kono dal kamman sa kendo le produce katun alamanke alate adamadi tonyela jamaati keno la kendo ti wo jama kanata mo kuruta ka tay en ka tambindi nyato bare alako nka nyaton ko bondal kono based on the attitude of the majority in the society. Come on, you cannot the majority out of the 100%, 60%, 70% cannot be a liars, and you expect alike more kendo not in the nyato. Because I tell kata wo nyato ko tal ke tembo al kana tola alala. Fatel bu katola alala. Gambiano le. Ale to ala jala ila dro koko yalla mol defni yalla bi bur defar yalla la rek bi atar California ko menki al katal kat ko tal kala ala adu kila kala marra minkum munkaran falyatghayr bi yadihi al ku mobo ale ku kuru je society kono ala kala al bulola il fa illam stati'u fa bilisanihi nalima kelo nal bulola ala kala al dalla bari bi ni so suñaro men bebe Gambia kon corruption o men bebe je o kawandi lal meni fon ka wo hadisol fo wolle fon kada fo mole ko meni be ku ken ku kuro men be society kon suñaro men ba expose kay ka fo la ko kol mo kadiar fil lalle sa lafta nga diam ku kuro njomale misili mo lal tatal kamune fo mole isaje ya fo ko ha yalo mansa misili mo aje nyin kelo be misili nyin kelo men bebe misili be bankol ka nasikiya Al-Kalte bulala la Qur'ano ma yaje Qur'ano is very straightforward. Qur'ano man injustice soto. But Muslimol ya try ye injustice dundi la society kono fobi ka fo mole ko ha yalo man sanay ku kurunke man mole beje men nyanta advice la bena fikiya. Alama mo mention Qur'ano kono ka fo ko nin kare ku kurunke al nyanto le ta fo la bantala nin kare ku kurunke al manyan no to fo la bantala. Birin nunto leader sol tata kefam protect misilime leader sol birinda misilime akono jubal al splita nyame kila la wato le man sial soto eman sunni soto eman sufi soto fali soto mune abenati ndije. How many hadith nyaju be authentic hadith sol Bukhari men bondi Buhari hadith sol men be bondi. It's less than 3,000, but you have the copy from Buhari. The hadith will be meant at 5,300 plus. Because Abi Haja, for better for the Kala Rasulullah. For Bedol Beji Yera Magino Kisilken Kodol Kono. Hello, you say, could you do the Kankila Kafan Dem Kemet Ledali Wulu? Manke Kemet. Missing Medim Pir. Mba misil men fa misil ali alon de la so kono talibe jolle tartaje 40 talibe de la so kono wala tina adil men yalon kal fanke sunniyal tinnalte ben manda sunniyatu mandal sufi kuto ndadal la kuto. But one thing I believe ko each of our elders many kelo ke kadino londi simflo la momo ko e ba do yala al kanyin kan al tano mo mole nyin karan silla nyol men fo kan karanyol tano le mol al sida sulali al betele mo ba fulul dala men yalon ko wol dol fon la nanin kila te masanji keme worula bi al jubal katla fula mole ko Abu Hanifa nin kila la wato kila la belo anin Abu Hanifa la natema almost 620 years bare nindele ko don ne mo ko tol ko do kan khalifa nyol ko tenne al ko wol manyana wol fola Abu Taymi anyul nada wati jomale alka wol talifo mba wulen e ka understand. So ni adi be Gambia kono bi Gambia la tinya afanga man fo dina nyato ngol ko man they have a selective preaching non de ko ni lata la ko il Qur'ano kona beje awfu bil ahd Allah dol timman inna li ahada kana mas'ula adun alkiyama lolu nante ala be kala Allah dol nginin kalatle. So what is an obligatory to every Muslim? It's a compulsory on every Muslim to advise any person, brotherly advice, not to break their promises. Because God is going to ask us about our promises that we made to the peoples. But for more, kawan la jumala be Gambia kono mem malo ko Adama Barrow 3 years project promise olek. Fulanya aliko opposition ya haramu dale. Kila ya tili ya madakale bula mansal noma. Bariniaje ala ko ati'u Allah ati'u Rasul wa ulul amr minkum. Ala no male kila no man alla nyaton kol. Amanda wala ko fa in tanaja'tum fi shay'in farudduhu ila Allahi wa rasul nannin Allah wo nyaton koli wali nyoyata katun ala yalon ko they are humans, they are not angels. Malaikol dambang ala kula yasuna Allah bima amaru wa yaf'aluna ma yumirun. Malaikol damban ne buka mistake ko keno katun malaiko e ko keno ala ya maral bar adamadi president kension abodan la kabilo le kono al niya dindi yake nyoka sun kanya yayi dol yol le ke jannibe ke la president yana yol kemol kunna malaikol ko kunta yalam walakin ala yole long akoy ko bar nanni Allah wo nyaton kol menal ye tombal ni wali nyoya woto momo na tala ka fale ko ne nyaton ko wali nyobe ala le soso kay ye fanni imalo fem dalila wadi lalile mislimul katema bo qur'ano le koma atare ko be men fam fasa ka wo qur'ano kono e be men fasa ka wo qur'ano fam ikate la qur'ano koma e ka wo men fam fasa amalla alala al mo jolle katare political meeting dal salfana en al tasal lansaro en al tasal fitiro en al tasal aleta lo may ko bala ndebe alale noma alay men tamine be ibe ala jomale no saliwati le tambi ala batu fenne be nyinduna men tamita saliwato wa saliwato ku tambite ku ne imam ala batu e kada fo mole ko ndebu ka ala soso abe misilimo la fake itate ke fande ne qur'ano koma ka batara ya fasa ala ko lam kitabul lam yaji allahu shifaa'atu fima tuharrimu alaykum ala te fen haramu yandila ala ta fulale fenna nyin haramu tale ayna la taman sero dendi wolbal wota din aya tali ko opposition ya haramu tale adam baro e kata naye kili state house aleta idan kuje fali malo kay haramu kole mobe jeno kila nyaari la kanne kole ni anin jeni kodo kama e kata idan kola e kata jeni kodo ta idi ala jeno le ni malo molo badal kilinde jale malo ko mem malo ko opposition le adam baro natin ala so lale sai ala sosolana ta yal kili al tate daw al kallo al kafo ala sosolala wa ala sosi ko me ya kay kayro le natin dat la ilaha illallah ay adunya fe ka fole ko fele benna e kanna lonnal le tay keneni e kan to nyamba folale lonna manke alati lonna dum tate mo yalo ala ku kilimbe ala la ko lam yelidi wa lam yulad ولم يكن له كفوا أحد أكلن دم بنم على كلن أكابن فيولو فما ولو فم فلان تاتي فلون يوتاتي وتو مو بقى على يا مرد advice على بلود على لا advice ما فانت ado ala be arjanna seedo sepla mo kilim mama benye fatil le aba boy nal ba fala ala kin Essa Jawla dindi jahannaba kata kan telle agents atille tamu alat adam baro mu oppositional ay haramo le ko matele mem ay al kili state house aka fale ko nga account le yelale ko do be dunna jale ka fonyo Allahu akbar al ka takbiro ke mun la moto da wala tele Gambia ye bailen chaxan ken du ko ka fonya di le ken du ko tapale yalla ken munal tapale yalla de ken munno tapale yalla alkafwa ala enteri yamalle ala ko attabi ushabila man anaba ilayya albula mulla silol no men ye fansay alama ite fan kana kafo mole ko kila ko taman seri saba ni aje momo la nafikolo sayte ko je mole kabula noma il faut ala le albula yamar bula fana na le bula fana noma say kila yet yam ako taman seri saba ni aje adamadi wona hakilo tuwato nafikolo ako abol kono eja hada sakazaba mo adamadi o me yalon ko na ya da ila ka fani ya defo eja wa'ada akhlaf na ye lahidi kulate lahido nyin timmandila ida tumuna khana nani ye kusita be bole ko to la nyin lahidi sabu nyin taman seri sabo be adam baro ya be soto hani sal kanal ka ko nyako man sakendo lo folo kila e ku fo aya bay itini tebe kila la silol noma muna ne to bay fayda ma bi nin kila be kera ba fele ne bula adam baro noma al kanal kamul manipulate Qur'ano koye ko la taakulu amwalakum bainakum bil batila al kana molla na fulol domo ila ni alla ni dial ka kato ka sembole bentella al ko ngande wolika nka womul promote mo kanela kuriyale fo bar ning Essa Jawla ku kali yetalo ndeme yalon ko kido samata juwola mundi aletalo min barol ka fal kal fan kumbon wallahi alayni nafo wallahi sumafu ha sumafu selective justice al bole bulala dino man mo select dino sariyam birana ta mo bele ka sariyam mo tombo ka fo ko kar na nyinge and in fact alako mo men yalon ko ali mo alay mem fo bole mo ko ako afatu'minuna bi ba'dil kitabi wa taghfiruna bi ba'd mo men yalon ko kito men yetel febo e ka so wolela kito men ye memme febo kitabo ko e ka balan wolla ala ko fama jaa man yaf'alu zalika minkum molla jomu mineti men ka woke al kono nyin dunya kono illa kidi ul fi hayati illa kidi fi hayati dunya fama jaa man yaf'alu zalika minkum illa kidi fi hayati dunya fentale nyin dunya kono na manke torol ti maje gambel be toro kono nin adam baro ya kal ko man salam nin loya usen da wa kal ta lo min barol ka misilime ya man banna yalo misilime ya mamola sembeti yalo misilime ya to nyaale long misilime ya mani dan mola karimu man sel dal kana to nya fay qur'ano na damo be ka bar gambi atella misilime ya al kaju be to nya nyanta fola jumale to nya man fula jumale haramu ko kali yota fo jumale ya kali yede wala adam baro lo tajana ko ba usene ko ni man fante gila misilimo fanso fadala misilime kendo ale mole jaka kondem ale imamu jomale jata lo min barota kondem ibebe derin tek non to misilime diw kalo ka fo yo misilimo ye ko ni man fa ntete bolani man sayal mbaje lale ye fangate la bade to comme ko nin ala diamu tane ala ko innal mauta allazi tafirruna minhum fa innahu mulakikum nin saya men al nyabala tal kalfan ko dinda lam bal mutalal tereno lo konal talonna adam baro kada lo ka fo mole ko ne ba usen manfa adu walati na abe nyim balaw men bela ten kabe ta tatamula abe lafrin ay men fo ka bar adam baro mbe kuma kilim fole saya mo buka wasu wala ha saya adam adi buka wasu wala de katu gambia mo wala stupidity wala siata o banko kan man saya amanke nyinti ko karimu mo kendol tembake la mansati karimu mo kurune tintake la mansati mansaya ise ikafonya dil hara jewlum comme alay me far rahman na dunya ne mo la munyinti wala tine kamul gebe ko be kilebe dolol minne be genul kila ibe kuma kunul fola alama na ful tiyol la muyti fema na ma sallahu nyol jebe yayla jamion te kata do mor nyino na je andu be alabatu ka suud imagine tata marakasi ke dar farin je tep suudo ni tule be sirin jamion ko ne be panni be sele ka may kun lay katila kaw yero la motol la isi wodo jada tan la ku dabe silo ka be 𝒕𝒉𝒊𝒔 wala be dolo minna ala kodo wabe farin gibo la ala kodo ala gibo be farin kodo la so president ya fana mu har dunya har jolati ila ke president dama mo ke mo kendeti de ila ke balia fana ke president dama mo ke mo kurunti bar gambian wala tin ngafo musindi ndo akonya ko ba usen a be fala la barata ke la president ngal la ka alla family ko no mo jolla ke la president nada president ya la mo president ya mu wala bu kende ate wada la family ko no mo kendete jego ay neni akombe bula kala family ngaya yo kadu gambia no kamila ko ni tema min position o soto dron ete mo kuru bar sila ka tari telephone la atela 7 generation o be mola man say amoje sila ka fo nyin doy ko o be fala la tikala man sati kato amanke mo kende nka wala ke no fanan kay alla family ko no mo jolle kata president o da la family be mo kuru na ko kadu mambo mo ke la family president sa ngole lo gambia kono ha sa dawda jawara ya jamme adam baro sila nite ko nin kari manke president di carte que la president de kato mo kuruna sila ite membo fo kay la family mo jolle ke la president wodo la family be mo kuru but stupidity is too high in that country. Yeah, it's come guys. Yeah, so stupidity wala tinan ko UDP kol ntolu Gambia di on na problème o menti Gambia di on na problème o menti ya papa is coming live dan dinde on bidla wala adama di on keba bal ka fo dia ku yati nafta mena o kedro muna mu la problème ak papa nge balen la nge balen papa ngama balen ngama balen ba oh my papa ini kata kau ni yang dah display lah so kakao ke Basar man bite so ali amira ko nali Adam Barrow boni jale abondi UDP leje tole ya man tambi nyina momen ka foko nga fay Adam Barrow wole fisa UDP tarje fal ni mbugata marse kilon let nondo adamadi tulo bala how many millions ni masa kunda yo le kasara e tulo bala be million kasara la wala tina e mallafi ko Gambia di on aleke kilinti because yalo ne ko alla unity wo muitella masi bolet say kamuneke sidin jay nyoli demba sabal sekum balo nyoli yolle attack to the flag communities because nyili buke mi la sayal etel yamre be nyimmen ko ne be tulawla kono etel nyinata ko sayta molle no kam wolle be je janni tel bena e be position to mo dolle oppositionol mara dolbe alkiyama bi dolbe balori bantata nyim positionol adama di tamu menti bo soto lale kana wuliya fo pour e koy be balula wuliya alla ene ma wuliya fo la jay develop no wuliya fo la ene na jay develop la min tole abe baluwo soto la barate develop no la wuliya bu kamo samba dulato ولكن ألاكو إن المنافقين لقادبون نافقول بي أبي مفانيا فولا لتي أنو يفانيا فولا جداودا نافقولو إبو كا ديفلوب إتي ديفلوب لا إبو تلا دندي مول لا so wala tinako UDP alinga ke kilinti yalon dunia ndel fana namol mu mendi yalo Gambia we have a big problem. We have a big problem. Not only the ruling government side, but even the opposition side in telephone, we have problem. We preach something, but we don't believe in it. Most of us, not all of us. Yalon tolbenyame United Democratic Party, dolben kono they don't believe in democracy. They will come well the United Democratic Party, but the malum fala minimum munit. Diversity is very important. And we have to be tolerant. Leave the people to express their opinion, but should be based on the respect. Yaje, tuwa karamundo ni non aljama be jatele kamda ko commune democracy. Aliyalla democracy defined in a way that the definition of democracy aliyat defined in a way that membal fable. But democracy is created by God. Can you for what? Kato mbering ala fa ko kila ko la kundinu kun woli dini. Ila dino be meni sontela men ila dino mu bula ila dino mu talet. If anana dino be ila dino practice yeta practice, what is more democratic than that? Amanda wala ko kila ko nyin ila nyi man tela man tolu tayenna kila futandima abanta kila ya futandiro dambande bema wama arsalnaka illa al-balagh me ki fenna fokanna kila ya fatandi amanda wala ko la ikrahu fi din for certain dino kono it's a freedom of choice ala me yeda na diata zafo dia ko yebente ala batla bar wo ala kilo na da fanan ko akoy ko faman sha'a falyaghfir wa man sha'a falyumin na diata me liman yante ala na diata me yebalante alama so adama din kana tar nyin dunya kono wala tina nga molje ka fo mole ko adama baro le freedom odin tel adama baro man freedom di mola adu ya jambe did not molle fanna freedom ol city bar ya jambe te mola freedom city nola wala tinna momen la freedom o amol city no dole banko nyimbula bar dole be banko nyin kono je be la freedom o fenka men silanta wolle fanna freedom o city kana te banko be fanola hani fir'auna na la fir'auna ya ama mobe city no de so therefore man sawo man sanata ite ko kamol la freedom la city wa freedom city be la banne te fone kam walakin nabi do man la freedom is more sis than ya jambe in the Gambia in the entire world today because abe damate move no la jet a president who were flying like a bird today he cannot move from one place to another mune obela kuna because the God created freedom that was given to the human he want to seize that and he cannot occupy the other position. So therefore, many careful Adam Barrow ko itele freedom in your fanul tekere. Alale freedom di Adamaduna. Adamaduna kalafika Adamaduna freedom ota kasis. And ni ko ebo kala dawde be fitino wulin lad kato ala mem fay mol day choice la di mol la. What a UDP. Momo I write so that opinion to. Our opinion should be based on respect. We can express our opinion based on respect. But you cannot force people to love by force. You can love people. You cannot force people to love Taliban by force. You cannot love people, force anybody to love youngs by force. You can never love human being to force human being to love whoever you want. But we can have respect for each other. And we have to allow that. Democracy comes with that. Different diversities, different views, different, opinions. Hani dino nata wala. Kurano membe kidding nata te Kurano. Fo kila la watu la Kurano bukuma sa fetal. Ngabe molle buloko no. But because of what brings the Quran to be a book. Kila farin kola. In fact, hani Abu Bakar fona time una Qur'ano man safe. Umar la watu la Qur'ano safe ta as a book. If I'm not mistaken, I stand to be corrected. So mola opinion kasi biriya fo Umar ko ka Qur'ano safe akata kila kila man men kata kila. But at the end, birata ta murtana aje ko nyemmen fo our people many alon ko Quran will tanka be kun kono. Some of them, anything can happen. They can be killed, they can be die, they all can be die at any time, and the Quran can be vanished. So let us accept the different views. Do not try to seize the right of the human. Nafatala kana mulla rights. Respect people. Let them express. Let them voice out their freedom. Let them voice out their opinions. But do not try to control the people for a better opinion sultra ka city. You cannot do that. If you want to do that, you create a problem. So we should know how we will engage one another. Because we are all grown men and women. We are all matured men. Kulu man filmen natin no kulu baliata natin dino lade. Ye kafuje adamadin ima wara kafoti na pabi dole kanyim fode. Akon yaje be jutu la kafole e bute. Kafo e mo men bute na e kafoja ka kamfale. Bar kafo e mo men mako no e kafoja ke burakan. Andin kanyim fole wato wat. Yangs I feel fen soto UDP kono at I feel abe feel fen ke ka KM jana West Coast alata ko la UDP la mude. It's UDP who brought him to that position, and they are exposing him to the Gambian to see his competency. Without UDP, West Coast will not vote for Youngs. So they did not vote for Youngs as a person. They vote for Youngs because of UDP. Talbe also likewise. Talbe too cannot be bigger than UDP. And they vote for Talbe because of UDP. Mafoko member be a bureau fight Talbe, a bear fight Talbe because of UDP diulum. Some there, they are not UDPians. They vote for his, but his first term kana. People don't know his competency. So those who vote for Talbe, his first term 2018, are all UDPians. And they vote for Talbe because of UDP. Until this second term, the people know because of his competency. I haven't exposed a la competency exposed Gambianole. Can you tell la yes, nganin do konole, dol nate kafte my manke UDP. But his first term, he was voted into that position. Wala kana na African media alon ko bi albe wuru na Talbe 2018 where are you? You none of you where even some of these big mouth men alon ko today ebe mol fenkila thing. They were not supporting Talbe 2018. They were against him. But UDP fought so hard to see that Talbe win that seat and to expose his competency to the Gambian and thanks to the UDP. So, therefore, no one is bigger than United Democratic Party. Do not disrespect the party. If anyone should be grateful to United Democratic Party, that should be our chairmen and mayors. Being a Talbe or Rohimalik Law or Yanks Dabo or Landin Sane, these people should be the most grateful people to United Democratic Party because their name is already in the history of the Gambians book and the good history for that matter. Because Rohi, before becoming a mayoress, how many people know Rohi? Even Banjulian, most of them, they don't trust or vote for Rohi, but UDP call stand. Wala tina Adamadium. Ekoni boyte yesano tombo kane boydula jube yesano tombo ndame kanaje jube boydula naje Adam Barrow biya by lolen incumbency opportunity ba use la because before becoming a incumbency na ye mira wala Adam Badi ko e sababu le soto de ko e sababu le soto today young small bafula work rek youngs work rek yes. That's why United Democratic Party sold him to the West Coast to promote their party. So there should not be disrespect to that political party because none of them are bigger than that party. And I think so too. Youngs Menna, UDP have so many other competent people, Nifan and Nata, Ibosi Falke, Talbek also the same thing. Maybe we can even have some people, many other people in another position. They can even do it more than what Talbe is doing in KMC. And Talbe is too young. In the history of the Gambia, we have the youngest mayors and chairmen. So, if anybody should fight so hard to see that party survive, to see the legacy of that party, that should be our chairmen. Because more le fata nyim party many alon ko yela na flow land ye yellow bon ye ko beke wol mantari benefit kanyim UDP la bide because I never hear that ka foko youngs mandala la salary taka nene mamoy ko Talbe mandala la salary taka nene mamoy ko Rohim mandala la salary taka nene mamoy ko Landin Sane mala salary taka ma foko ita afford nola. But youngs men, can you fly America, China, will he able to do that without being a chairman? Talbe kadanyin dulal men beto. Will he able to do that without United Democratic Party or without being a mayor? So if anybody on this earth in the Gambia today, they should fight so hard to protect United Democratic Party. Should be our chairmen. Should be our chairmen. They should be the one. Many alon ko nyandata la kelo kela. Suton in tilo to protect United Democratic Party. But our division should not from those peoples. Na divisiono ama asababo manya kila womot. Whether I'll believe tala or not. Fal believe ta wala fal man believe fala. So let us come together and rescue this country. Alinga nyimbango tankandi de. Nyimbango be tembo mento nyimbango be mafia le bulokono. E boy dale. Oh, sorry, my boy, sorry. Alinga nyimbango tankandi de. Gambia be tembo mento ten mbe crossroad le. Nin sonda Adama Barona la nyim molu. Yenyim Banco win 2026, then Gambia is done. Ila momo ila right lam Gambia di haninteni ila sa president na right lam atota Gambia di lebul. Why should it be a crime? Kafo ko karle nyanta kila president. Sometimes I even look at the people I laugh. For president yabe jomale buloko no nalka. Sisla. Anin defa linke in fact mbena lola 2026. Albe mune no laje. Ala bonye. Yalo Gambia sometimes bidawo la na wol wol ko kane. Kafo do karle nyanta kila president wol kafo kanafo. Muna kinda akanafo. Fole ba kenda wo karbe kila president. You know, UDP la julole ben nanyi chamanul bela. Bine Yanks ba, bine Talibe ba, bine Rohi Malik lo ba, bine be Landin Sane ba, UDP la julole balbel, including nanyi dibitol. Woto atelle nyanda kila multi, meni alo kalbe kelo kila nyim pati ya kaje ko nyim pati ya protect. Bali nyim pati la division o manya na sunna la sutla alla fansol. I can tell you that clearly. Respect our parties. Atelle nyanta lola. But it's a shame de tonya bedame. Nji foptal albele mude. Ayang sibang talbe ben suda bang mo kote bang ante muna sayal kammo ilembe mo la kuma fola. Because I'm totally disappointed in all of you. Because muna Nin wayo men bebe kera manya na bolate la karona. Nin nyanta bola vitin di support a sol dambang la ino. Muna kena? Charger. You know, tambena la ngada da yama. Because muna kena atelle nyanta kila multi men yalon ko. You know, al nyanta kila nyimpati la pride. Atelle nyanta kila multi ko. Men yalon kan nyanta nyimpati wafila. Atelle nyanta kila multi men yalon kan nyanta nyimpati wafila. So Gambia be tembo men to be jikiri nga telle la. Gambia di un be jikiri nga telle la because NPP barakate la kudo. Ila chiamano la kamolo mo diamu le la kula. Ni wojo be mekere hani Adam Barrow fa buka diamu la chiamano la kula. For NPP man chiaman soto. Baring nyaje mul buka diamu ila chiamano la kula. Pati koton men be Gambia ne ka jomala mo mul ba fule ko he al carte ay ni pati kar nyanda kala tenete because munamu o parti yol nyiri manke Gambianol la bredan botate because Gambianol ma hope soto o parti la niaji mul nyaabe tilin tella nyim parti la wallahi billahi tallahi whether we know it or not these are the people men yalon ko na atodum Gambia diun inya ela jiko be nyim parti le kam Gambia dia diun la jiko be nyim parti le kan amanke parti ko de so therefore nin Gambia tunenta ntel UDP de lamude ale ngambulo la nyoka nga futa moluma nga diamu ye kani dandi la ko Gambia be criminal le bulo Gambia is becoming a lawless state under Adam Barrow because muleketa Adam Barrow is somebody me yalon ko ya believe in dile ko because I found lota la ko United Democratic Party is the only threat of the Gambia peace and stability. Walatin be criminals, lawless people that molbe o banko kay fan kili lawless people like outlaws. Come tell they are above the laws. And that is the truth. Because munekeda anything may yalon kabe tell the opposition of putla in danger. That's a peace and that's a threat and a threat to them. So that's why in Gambia you can do anything. As far as you are not UDP, they don't have any problem with that. You can steal, no problem. You can do corruption openly, no problem. You can do whatever you want. You can insult the whole tribe, no problem. But as far as you are UDP, because Adam Barrow Afako, Gambia man, any security threat, so UDP is the only security threat in that country. That's why Gambia became a drug center. You think all these outlaw kids didn't do it? And then these outlaw kids, let me tell you, some of you kids, Al Canal Live, Westet Wonyama. yenin dunya je important le pour adamadin ila fenko adamadin ila wato men ala ya dila ya wasted wonyama for no reason na fata la de men ke fankili outlaw la dindi yal canal nene before most of you become regret ala canal nalike multi men be regret la alla yaje is dindiya is very dangerous jamanul kafo mena buvatet side atel jamal beje albet time to pour kala dunya dada do not waste your time for nothing and you become regret tomorrow if I fenne soto bana flositano ala la future bill than than this nonsense albeni menke kante na fatala atelier na fatala la wululali bi Allah me bal dol be jali ya fil ko la wululali asoro bi bar sama si fono le al canal la time wasting ka fo kon tel mo outlaw le dunya canal nene adama di una wato is the best time I'll be age to build something so that tomorrow you become a better person. But natali ya mira ko nyin kulubali ya kul wole bal kela fendi sama al canal la time waste ngal be konto gay ngal bula jang sayende la jang lansaro fela sita kumolo mamandi ani du damen kasola don ali al hakko boyndinye so mbafulal be saluto ngal be konto fo wadi do